I can't hear you, but that could be my fault. Although you aren't being picked up on the stream either. Still not hearing you. Double checking my sound. Where's settings? This is microphone.
What?
Oh, there we go.
I was testing my speaker and microphone. This Apple camera is fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's very grainy.
Very grainy. I don't like this. Oh well. It is what it is. Oh wow, live on YouTube. Didn't realize we were live on YouTube. Definitely would have appeared shirtless with like pastrami on my nipples or something. So how are you, John?
I'm okay. I'm probably gonna bail for part of this because I had my shot today.
Ah, first or second?
First one. I'm imagining my second one isn't going to be any fun, given that my first one is not kicking my ass yet, but definitely I feel like something is going on.
Understandable.
Have you had yours yet?
Can't even get scheduled.
Oh, seriously?
Dude, there's like no one's available. I'm like, really? How is everyone else getting scheduled?
I'm curious how Florida beat you to it.
Well, you know, Florida's trying to do everything early.
Let everyone come in with the coronavirus early. Let everyone, whatever.
And I've been working pretty much, 8 a.m., sometimes 7 a.m. to
what industry are you in? I want to ask you. I don't want to ask you on the air where you work.
Yes, I work for a very global organization, and I am part of a kind of IT.
Cog?
Yeah, I'm a cog, definitely.
Has a very specific skill set.
Yes.
Widge, I got to tell you, so far your audio's better than it has been before.
Good. Well, I'm glad somebody tells me when it's good. Nobody tells me when I'm cutting out for 3 hours. So
yes, we do. You don't hear us.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Actually, he gets a recording, so I think he knows we don't.
Right.
So I'm hooked up straight to the modem. So if this keeps behaving itself, then I'll switch on video. But
say that again. I'm sorry, because I actually took my headphones off. That wasn't you this time. That was me. I took my headphones because I was because I'm looking up at the so in my
flip my wrists.
Flip my wrists. I don't know if you can see this, but I have the up there. I can see what the stream looks like.
Yes.
But what's interesting,
I'm looking at one of my 3 screens as well.
But what's interesting is that you aren't appearing on the screen, and I'm wondering if that's because your video is not on, whereas in the meeting I can see a little box for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume
right.
So.
When he starts talking on my second monitor versus the MacBook, it just shows widget walls. It's like an end credit scene.
It's definitely the end.
Yeah.
No, I was saying if it keeps behaving itself, then I'll try switching on the video and see if that works.
Okay.
But for right now, I'm just going to stick to audio. And if I start to break up, just wave or something.
So you're in so Madman, you're in IT.
I am in IT. I'm actually in a new role. I started a new position.
Air quotes
Yes.
IT.
Yes, I started a new position where I am no longer an IT support person per se, where I'm not necessarily doing break fix and bunches of troubleshooting day in and day out. I'm more of a liaison above that, interfacing with the business units and project managers as a resource. And I got a, it's funny, I came out of the pandemic much better off than I left it.
Oh, that's cool.
I will say that. Definitely much better off than I left it. So I'm trying to get through my 90 days.
Hey, Rox.
Hello.
Yeah, it's definitely a you only show up if your video's on the stream,
Hello, Rox.
which is actually sort of an
Hello.
improvement, to be honest with you.
How are you?
I'm good. Why are we on Zoom?
Because we like mixing it up.
My God.
The real reason is because
Because we can't afford teams. Okay, we can't afford
yeah.
teams.
Though I like StreamYard better for lots of things.
Yes.
It's also $25 a month. So
Oh, whoa.
Wait,
and I
Is
already
it
have a pro Zoom account. So
Oh,
So-
all right.
hey, John, the chat's not going to show up on video, though, is it?
not that I'm aware of. We could test it.
We're about to.
The chat. This is the thing. Reaching in.
Wow, they're still around?
What?
Bro, you better recheck that NASDAQ.
To answer your question, no, it doesn't show up on.
Awesome. Oh yeah, we touch everything. It is literally.
Well, I know you do,
Yeah.
ladies.
Mm-hmm. Gentlemen, whatever.
That's what got Matt trouble. I understand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean that's what they're reporting anyway.
Is that where you were before, or
No, I
Okay.
was not.
All right, cool.
No, I was not. But that's where I am currently.
So I have to use Zoom. I saw Zoom and I'm like, I got to use my iPad.
Ah,
I don't trust it on my computer.
But you know your
Okay.
iPad is a computer, right?
Why
I
don't you
suppose
trust
if you
it
have a
on your iPad?
PC that maybe it's.
Why don't you trust it on your iPad? I mean, on your Mac, just in general.
On my Mac, I don't know, because in the early days of COVID, they were like,
Yeah.
oh, the hacking and the jumping in and whatever. I'm like, I don't need that.
oh, I have. Let me tell you that there have been some meetings that I have been in maybe a month and a half ago. Well, about a month ago,
Yeah.
where literally I'm in the middle of talking, and this happened for a couple of weeks in a row. In fact, where literally I was somebody dropped porn in the middle of it. I was
Get
called
out!
I was called the
Wow.
N-word by multiple users that were on the stream at the time. Oh yeah, and then everybody's like, "Oh wow, you handled that so well." I'm like, I grew up in the South.
But so were they worker bees?
No,
Or they were just-
no. But when you have externals that are invited into chat, into the Zoom meetings and what have
Yeah.
you, there was no way for them to know that, okay, this wasn't an actual audience member,
Wow.
vendor, blah 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 blah. And so I'm literally in the middle of speaking and conveying information, and they were like, wow,
Wow.
you didn't even flinch. And I'm like, look, people, I've had guns in my face before. All right.
I have too. Hey.
I'm like, you're not gonna just disrupt the whole stream of my consciousness just by dropping porn. I'm like,
Wow.
Because that's just my daily life.
Yeah,
what do you think that third screen is for?
Madman like trains. You know, he'll like say, okay, drop the porn. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Nope.
Doesn't even flinch.
Not even registering.
Nope.
Unless there's dwarves on fire in it, it doesn't do anything to Madman.
Not even dwarves on fire.
So are you in your bat cave, Madman?
New Zydeco band.
I am, right?
Your new chair.
In my new chair.
Wow. Very nice. It's too bright in there though.
No, I've actually got lights turned off.
Oh
that
my
would
gosh.
actually increase the brightness.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really had time to really finish the room the way I want it to. I went from having plenty of time to having absolutely no time. So
yeah.
Right. And it's like, okay, well, I'm finding the balance. I am getting up every day and doing my little stretching and prayer and meditation and all of those things, and then hopping into work and then popping in for a lunch break workout out in the garage and all of that. Because I'm still working from home. But I have been in the office. They do a wonderful job. You schedule a day ahead. There's a nurse on site. You go get swabbed and you wait. So you get there before your start time. You get swabbed in. The nurse calls you back 30 seconds or 30 minutes later and goes, yeah, you're free to go. Or no,
wow.
you're not allowed to go anywhere else in this building. You can get out.
Wow.
But I haven't had to do that very often. I actually have only done it once.
Haven't had to get out of the building very often?
Haven't had to go to the building very often.
Oh, okay. That's even better.
Yeah. Now that's coming. But not right now.
Okay, good.
My place
so when
is
my
place is pretty much saying we've decided that you can work at home indefinitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why they pay John the big bucks. John, you're not supposed to say that on the stream. They're watching us.
Yeah.
Not again. That trick never works.
Look, my job is watching everyone.
Oh my. So what is everybody's jab status?
I got one.
I just got jabbed today. In fact, I was telling Madman that I may bail for a little bit here just to go lay down because
you feeling it?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I started to come back out of it a bit, but earlier I was just like, oh, I'm just tired.
Now, which one did you get?
I got the a boner one, Pfizer. Mm-hmm.
Really? Huh.
Wait, you call it the boner one?
Yeah, it lasts for about 4 hours. Then I got to call a doctor.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I got the Pfizer. Well. I actually had two. Madman's gonna love this. I actually had 2 appointments. And I canceled one of them because I got the Pfizer one instead of Madura.
Fucking Florida.
Oh.
I had one at Publix scheduled for today, as well as then I got another one for at the county. And the real reason why it wasn't because of the version, but it was just because of the drive-through. So I didn't have to get out of my car, go into Publix, sit there in Publix.
Let's start our own team.
But I want to go into Publix. Publix has great things. You can get a pub.
I love Publix.
You can get fried chicken, sushi. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to travel to Florida and just go walk into Publix, get a sub and a shot.
So with mine, so there's been so I went through Publix and they lowered the age status because this is Florida. So it was like 65 and above for like ever. Mm-hmm. And then it was 60. So my boyfriend got the one and done. So he got the J&J. I'm like, I want that one. So they lowered it and all of a sudden, to 55, they were totally out. I'm like, it's totally crap. So I'm like, crap. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna just go down to Publix. So they had it. It was kind of weird. They're like, yeah, you have to sign up on a Wednesday to get the one and done, but we don't have any. Oh. So I signed up for like 2 appointments and I got it like early. So I got mine at like 7:30 in the evening. And I was fine all night until I woke up and I'm like, oh, my arm hurts. Holy crap. And I swim every morning. And at this indoor pool. And the people there that I swim with, we have the same crew, same 4 people. It's the 4 of us. We have the 7 a.m. to 8.
Is this Cocoon?
Pretty much.
You're remaking Cocoon?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Wow. And it's just like, yeah, we were wondering how you were doing. Because it was just like, it was my slacker swim. It's just like, oh. So now I have to wait for the part 2. So hopefully that goes better.
So Rox, was that the Pfizer for you as well?
No, I got Moderna.
Okay.
So you got a 28-day wait then.
Yeah. And
First 21.
oh, so it was so funny. So I hassled my boyfriend because he's 6 years older than me. So he's in that baby boomer age. And I'm like first Gen X. And I'm like, yeah, we can't have anything nice. You take it all.
Did you see the Saturday Night Live?
I did.
That is so funny.
And he was over here because he was checking on the bees. I'm like, oh, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. And he's like, oh yeah. Because his dad got the Moderna too. So I'm like, I'm with him. I'm with the, greatest generation. Because his dad had to wait 28 days too. So
well, what's interesting is I got mine through CVS because their website seems to do the best job of what?
You live right up the fucking street and I can't even find one. I'm gonna go into CVS tomorrow.
Anyway, so their website like refreshes like constantly.
yeah.
So I just had everything open in its own window, and so I wasn't watching it like the stocks. I would just every now and then I just switch over, refresh, whatever. And I think they've got me I'm on Pfizer, but I've got a 4-week wait as well. I think they did it all 4 weeks just because that was easier for their system. So
Right.
Okay, so this is where I tell you your audio it gets cracky at different points. So just so that we're monitoring that.
okay.
It sounds fine to me.
Yeah, he sounds fine to me.
Okay, then it could be me.
Well,
It's the Zoom interlopers.
what?
But you just heard it though, didn't you?
Yeah,
I
right.
just
Well,
did,
it wasn't nearly as.
Well, that was me basically.
Nope.
There it
That was
goes.
me not
See?
making stupid
Nope.
noises.
No. It is literally the sound.
Okay.
I am crazy, but I am right. Hello, JJ.
Hey, JJ.
While you connect to audio.
But still not as bad as it normally is, which.
Oh, good. Well, that's better.
JJ's got
Can
his
he
ear
hear
all
I have
us?
nice
no
and-
idea
You
what
hear
the
us?
issue
He
is.
can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. I was checking. I
Oh.
was checking my audio and stuff.
I like your
Oh.
shelf. That's a nice shelf.
Thank you. Which? Oh, you can see the.
I can see the shelves behind you.
Well, there's 3 of them.
Okay, now I can see all of them.
Yeah,
Oh, you got a classic shelf up there. Is that old Captain America?
it's not all Captain America. It's all what I.
Oh,
think
I
is
said
Silver
old Captain America.
Avengers. Oh,
Not the new one.
No,
That
yeah.
that
I don't know what
guy.
his name is now.
That guy.
Walker.
Jeff Walker.
Thank you.
I just have to remember which alcohol he is. I always want to call him Jim Beam, but he's Johnny Walker.
So,
Now I
JJ,
assume all the hair is just hidden behind your neck, right?
Right. That's what I was going to ask.
Well, not entirely. No, I got the side shaved.
Right. I
Hey,
know, but
I
you had,
knew
you had-
something
Oh,
changed.
okay. All right.
Oh yeah, but
yeah,
no.
yeah. I knew you got
All
a
right,
bunch
just- all
cut
right.
off, got an undercut or whatever.
So
But
handsome.
so
Very
handsome.
handsome.
Yeah, no, if I wear it down, I look just like I never had anything done. The only thing is when the wind blows, more of my hair goes because it's a lot thinner.
Oh, great. CVS in Albany. I can go to Albany. I can go to Dalton. I can go to LaGrange.
I was about to say New York. Wow.
Mm,
I know.
That's a trek.
Wow.
Are you looking up where shots are available?
yes.
Man, so I became eligible for a shot here in Oregon on Monday. And so being someone who has anxiety attacks anyway, I had just on Sunday night, right before I was trying to go to bed, I just had this massive anxiety attack, could not sleep worth crap. I was up till like 4 a.m. And because I was freaking out anyway, I went ahead and looked online and I found a Walgreens like 2.5 hours from here that I could get an appointment. And so then I booked it. I was like, well, that sucks, but I'll book it since I'm freaking out anyway. And then like the next day I got an email from the like state mass vaccination thing going, if you wait a couple more days, you can do it right here. So now I changed that appointment and I have an appointment for next Monday.
Cool.
Good job.
And I like the fact they gave me a heads up on which vaccine I'm getting to, so that
Which one are you getting?
Pfizer, which is kind of the one I wanted because I'm a political jerk and everything to me has a little bit of an agenda. And I like the fact that Pfizer, although they are a horrible corporate entity, still had absolutely zero to do with, and also my opinions are my own. They have nothing to do with anyone.
I'm fairly certain that in this group it's probably going to be fairly consistent. But go on.
But it had nothing to do with Operation Warp Speed, so it has absolutely zero to do with the last administration.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no issues with that. I'll put myself behind that. Sure.
okay,
I also like the shorter turnaround time.
yeah,
Seems to also have less side effects apparently. But
yeah, it has fewer side effects than Moderna, and also for someone who works for the public, has a better chance of not having the ability to get sick than Johnson & Johnson.
Madman is still going. Yeah, okay. All you guys, what do all of us have in common, Madman?
What?
You're in Georgia.
What?
Just in
None
general,
of us are in Georgia. Well, I guess Widges. Never mind.
I'm in Georgia.
generally,
Dude,
I'm sorry
Which
for
is
the state of
5
Georgia.
minutes up the road.
Really?
Seriously, Madman.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. I was watching the CVS site. I refreshed. There was one appointment that became available on Howell Mill Road, which is like 20 minutes
Right.
away.
Wow.
And I basically snagged it, hit the first time I saw on the second dose, and then booked it. So literally just stuff opens up because everything else I had seen was like an hour away minimum.
So
And
are
weirdly,
they-
Widge, it's still easier than voting in Georgia.
Yeah, pretty much.
But here's so here.
That's the new time to vote, by the way, 4 a.m.
That's right, 4 a.m. In Jacksonville, it's like it's been really easy and in North Florida to get your appointments.
My daughter, who is 20 years old, has an
Mhm.
appointment for next Tuesday
Wow.
at
Oh,
the
that's
at the
because-
college.
That's because they lowered it again, right?
Yeah, they lower it again next Monday, but the
Yeah.
college, her college actually
Yeah.
is taking care of it.
Statistically, though, places that lean white and Republican are the easiest places to get appointments, though, because they're the fewest people.
Give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, I guess.
Just as a whim, I
Yeah.
was like, so would I be able to get a vaccination if I still lived in
Oh,
Mississippi?
wait a minute.
And when I looked at Mississippi, everything was open.
What is it, Madman?
No.
Oh,
Fucking Riverdale.
The series?
Oh, Archie,
I know.
Yes.
Archie, that prick.
Fucking Riverdale.
Yeah, don't get vaccinated in a fictional town. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't be that desperate.
Well,
Yeah. You don't want to. Well, where was Buffy? Was that what was
Sunnydale.
that was Sunnyvale.
Sunnydale. That's
Sunnyvale.
That was
they have the
Sunnyvale.
hell no. Okay.
And
I never watched
California.
that show. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Also, if you are going to get vaccinated in a fictional town, make sure you know which fictional town you're going to.
Oh yeah. You don't want Castle Rock
no, absolutely
or
not.
Derry
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm in Oregon.
Say
so I
no.
have,
No, you don't.
in Oregon, I think I have what, Twin Peaks and
You do.
and Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is Eureka?
Oh yeah, that
was-
was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was that Oregon or is that Washington?
I think it
Oh.
was Oregon. It was a bad show though, so I don't really remember.
It was.
It was okay.
It was okay, but after a season and a half, maybe I got
Oh,
real
well, yeah.
tired of the whole. Oh shucks, I don't know anything about this town. I can't believe all of this is happening.
That is great.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
All right, Albertsons
my.
and Safeway are back.
Oh, so there was a link to look up vaccinations at a place called You Save It Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Letter U dash save, I think
Mhm.
SAV dash IT. I was like, no, that's like, neither would I want to get it at a U totem, for example. I prefer things that have complete words in the name of the place.
But I was told by this really, really nice older woman, she was like 115 if she was a day, but telling me that the little pharmacies were the places to go because people weren't swarming them.
So I have a friend, a cosplay friend of mine that lives here, Larry, and he actually works in a lab for a pharmacist out in Dunwoody, Georgia, which isn't far from here at all. And there was a line eventually that he was like, "Hey, we're about to open up. We are getting more vaccines. People should just go ahead and sign up." But at the time, I wasn't eligible. So
And it wasn't age or health; it was just because of your race, right?
Again, it is Georgia.
Look, so here's the deal. Thank you all for going and pioneering this thing and getting it first, because as you all know, our country has a horrible, horrible history of testing things and vaccines and other things on Black people. I did not get the super soldier serum. However, I also didn't get syphilis. So with that,
Not for lack of trying, though.
I would just like to say thank you for finally going first.
And luckily you did not get the super soldier syphilis, which is an entirely different thing and much harder to treat.
Well, that was a whole different program.
That was the soldier before Isaiah Bradley.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Now, can we talk about that show?
I've watched it.
Oh,
Talking Winter Soldier?
I thought you
Yeah.
meant,
I haven't watched
thought
it.
you
but
meant
go
casual
ahead.
racism. My bad.
Well,
Oh God. Which
Hold
is
on,
on its
hold on. I've got to not kill John this evening. He's already not feeling that great. So.
To be fair, what's happening in Georgia is not casual. That's
That's true. It is very
It is
formalized.
the racism anymore.
It is par for the course.
It is formal. It is very formalized.
it is
And-
focused like chi.
Well, this is why I bring this is why I bring my own water and chair and snacks.
That's true.
Right?
I tried
That
to
happened. That's on video.
yeah,
Right?
JJ, I
actually
tried to
knew what was happening.
while he was looking for a vaccine, I tried to bring him water and they almost arrested me.
I was actually saying it's too far to go for this, but I do think that there should be just a group of Caucasian people that go to Georgia and just go along the lines and just don't hand anybody water, just put bottles of water and food just just in straight lines going down the line. Just hundreds of them going. I'm not giving this to anybody. I'm just littering.
But if you like some food, please feel free to take it.
I thought what you should do is you should set up just tables on the road to the voting area before you get anywhere near where you could be considered a voter or waiting in line.
Yeah, there's
With
100-foot
signs.
radius.
Yeah, big signs that say free water and food, take some, and you hand it to them in their car before they even park. So it's like okay, try and arrest me for this.
Yeah. What do you mean try and arrest me for this? They will.
For the record.
Whoa.
For
hey
the,
man, I'm white. I mean,
oh my God.
I gotta use that for something.
Wait it. There are vaccines available in Forsyth, Georgia.
How far away is Forsyth?
Was that a regional joke?
Forsyth is. Yes.
Okay.
So here's the deal. Forsyth has
it's a different region. How far away it is?
Yeah. It's not that far, but Forsyth has a very, very ugly racist history in and of itself. That is also the same town where they did not want Black people to buy homes there and move there until Oprah and Al Sharpton and everyone marched through there because they were denying home ownership and what have you. This all occurred right before I went in, I think high school. And then during high school, I had a couple of different situations happen where a friend of mine asked me to help him move his grandmother. We end up going and helping her move out of this double wide trailer in the backwoods of Forsyth County. Right now, it's super developed right now, but it was not back then. And I'm like, oh my God, you're going to get us killed. And literally a couple of things happened. One, back then they only had these small downtowns. So there's like Burger King, Taco Bell, Wendy's, what have you. And we're in Taco Bell and they mess up my order. And I'm like, I do not want to go in there. And Brad's like, I'm white, I'll go up there. I'm like, hey, he's like, you messed up his order. The entire place shut down in order to fix 3 tacos. Like we walked out with like 9 extra tacos and everyone apologizing profusely. They're like, it was the most uncomfortable shit ever. Right. And so 5 minutes after that, we are literally in his Nova and we're heading back and we're eating the tacos. And we might have been partaking in the cannabis at that time. And these cop cars pull up. And I'm like, shit, I am going to jail in Forsyth County. And he goes, no, the fuck we're not. You're Black. You know what's been going on here? He was like, this is like a free pass. I could blow smoke in their face. No one's going to pull us over. And I'm like, you are taking too many risks with my life right now. We've already gone through this in Taco Bell. And sure enough, the cops just kind of looked and just was like, don't need the publicity this week, and kept driving. And I'm like, get me the fuck out of here now. So yeah, there's Forsyth for you. But they have vaccines.
They're trying to, dude, in the words of Mad Max Fury Road, that's bait.
Yep.
So does Georgia have like an organized mass vaccination site or anything?
They do. It does not have any appointments available either.
Right.
Are those walk up? Are those walk up?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, that's kind of what happened with me. Is I didn't think there was going to be anything available, and then I got an email. And granted, my appointment is a week out. Because I made it yesterday, and it's for next Monday. But that it does seem like those are going faster than most of us anticipated they would.
Which is good because it's like I was telling Thespia, who was trying to get an appointment. I said, listen, if all the appointments are full, that means that people are getting jabbed, which is good because, less people without the vaccine means more places for variants to spawn.
Yeah.
Right. So
there are no vaccine centers available with appointments during the time range you selected. I didn't select the time.
I think they're only booking like 5 days out on.
Well,
most
I've searched
sites, right?
within 100 miles
Mm,
of my home.
Wow.
yeah. Well, what was it? Friday when I got my first one, they had set a record. They had done like 200,000 more jabs than they had done the day before. So, and I know that they're ramping up production. So, I mean,
Wait.
something will become available.
Wait, that sounds good.
Wait. Okay, this is getting slightly better. I think. Let's see if it'll allow me to make an appointment. Andrew Young, book an appointment.
Because we're all
Apply.
wrapped paying
Right.
attention.
There
I
are no-
know.
there are
Everybody-
no slots available. All right.
Vax casting.
Like a nunnery.
So
the-
is Publix Georgia different than like Publix Florida?
Oh, Jesus, John. that's good.
Everything in Florida is different than everywhere else.
Well,
never
this is
asked to edit
true.
anything out, but that might be one thing.
Nope. It's staying in. It's too good. Too good.
Anyway, moving along.
So
We've covered
what?
racism, misogyny. Okay, what else are
Yep.
we going on now?
Well, you wanted to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
So has everyone seen Falcon Winter Soldier?
Yes.
I am caught up. Yes.
First episode, in my opinion, good. Second episode seemed like it was a train wreck.
Really?
Yeah, it felt like there was no connection between the scenes. It was just all of a sudden. And also, at some point, couldn't have Bucky, instead of going to Maryland, just said, hey, by the way, there's this guy you want to know about, besides just showing up at his house and surprising him. It seemed like a waste of a trip.
Well, I think he was trying to get information from Isaiah, not just introduce him to Bucky.
Correct.
Yes, but also a little heads up before showing up at some strange person's house might have been,
I get a
the
feeling
decent
that
thing
if,
to do.
if you got contacted by the guy that you ripped the cybernetic arm off of back in Korea or wherever it was.
No, I'm saying that Bucky could have told Sam.
Yeah, just
Oh.
could have gone. By the way,
Where we're going. That
Yeah, I
that
got
was
you.
why do you have to? Was he not going to believe you? I mean, the dude has seen a guy from another galaxy show up at on his front porch. It's not like he's not going to believe that there was another super soldier who happened to also be black,
well,
or more importantly was black.
Well, there's a dramatic effect that goes along with that as well.
Well, I understand, but you should have still.
it also, the simple answer for that is because it was cooler.
For whom?
For the
The
audience,
audience.
For everyone else, John.
because we
I'm
also
feeling for Sam. I mean, he gets this information thrown in his face out of nowhere, and a little heads up would have helped him.
right, but the
John,
audience
John.
also, now we have met every member of Young Justice
Almost of Young Avengers, yeah.
or Young
Almost.
Avengers. Yeah, we
Yes.
haven't met Hulkling.
We haven't met Kate yet.
No, but Kate's cast.
She's coming. Yeah, Kate's
Hulkling is
cast.
the only one I think that would be completely out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't hear Kim's squeal of delight from across town, honestly.
So I mean, I do agree with you that the polite thing to do in a real life conversation is to go, hey, you're about to see something that's going to kind of rock your world. How about we have this conversation so we don't have to have it, on the street where we're going to upset the police. Which I have had that conversation with my friends in the South before, and
For
had
standing
that
there,
thing. Yeah.
having a conversation,
Mhm.
I have
not
had that
doing
very thing
anything.
happen, and that was a painful and very real scene.
Yes.
But overall, in from just the story perspective, in my opinion, it's the scenes all seem slapped together. But I also learned too that it's only 6 episodes long.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they
But
might be maybe
that's-
rushing to get through some of this stuff.
Well, I think the thing to bear in mind is that like WandaVision was 30-minute episodes. So you're basically getting the equivalent of like 3 feature films back to back for this. So it may seem like it's not a lot, but I think they're going to cover a decent amount of ground and do it well. I like how they played around with, first of all, I like the therapist, Amy Aquino, who is fantastic. I would like a series where she just does therapy with various members of the MCU to try to help them out with stuff. I think that would be good. But I also like how they introduced Walker at the end of the first episode, and you're instantly like, you don't like this guy because he's not Steve. But then the very beginning of the second episode, they show you he's a guy. He's just a guy who's been given this job, and he's trying to do it well. He's not an asshole necessarily.
Well,
And I like that.
He's
Well, necessarily.
way too comfortable. He's a bit of an ass.
Necessarily. And the one thing that I find bizarre, though, John, the one thing I thought was weird was that you've got 2 guys who are peak human shape, physical shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, how are they going to deal with these super soldiers any better than, dude with wings and cyborg arm?
right. That part I didn't understand. And I it was really weird the level of risk they were willing to take.
Yeah.
So my theory is their armor is very, very heavily padded with something extra. Because
Well, I
think
mean-
about it, they're getting punched by super soldiers.
Yep.
Well, they
I'm like-
also had a helicopter. Why, if they were showed that they were willing to shoot people, why were they not just picking people off from the helicopter?
That makes too much sense, John.
They also, John said something about his helmet being heavily armored, and that's why he could put it over a grenade.
Grenade, right?
Yep.
So, but they're
That
also,
was nice.
if they go off of the comics that gave us, or if they adhere close to the comics that gave us John Walker to begin with, I would be very surprised if they end this series with the same amount of strength that they have now. I think they're going to be much stronger by the end.
Yeah. Because we already know power brokers behind some things already, which in the
Right.
comics, definitely Battlestar, that's where he got his strength and what have you. And then the other thing is, Battlestar, even right now, they come off as kind of a jerk. Battlestar was not a jerk in the comics. He actually was a good stand-up guy, whereas John definitely is John's a piece of work.
John was a Reagan era Captain America. I mean, that's what he was designed to be, a far right wing for the time Captain America. And so, and that's they're not quite going there, but they have definitely made him a
Right.
bit of a dude bro Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
If he could turn around the A backwards, I think he probably would.
Rob's here.
Hey, kids.
Hey, Rob.
Hello,
Chicken.
Rob.
Yeah. Anyone who immediately calls somebody by their nickname when you have not been invited to call someone by their nickname
Yeah.
is shorthand for, oh, I want to kill you.
Ooh, yeah.
So, and the only thing I thought about the first episode was it took me a minute to kind of gear shift from WandaVision, because like back in regular MCU Cinemaverse versus the craziness of WandaVision.
Right.
So that took me a minute.
Oh, good. I thought it was just me.
No, and it was fine because I realized it was me like downshifting into reality essentially. But that's what I noticed. And I will say this, whatever you think about the semi-fight that was a pretty great fight. I can't wait to see the behind the scenes on how they pull off what mixture of, you know, stunts and real people and green screen and all kinds of shit. Because
Right.
some of that was
Yeah.
on moving trucks.
Yeah.
Right.
I will
Well-
be very angry with the series if they don't address some of the things that came up in the first episode. If we don't go back to New Orleans and find out about Sam's family and stuff. I
Oh,
will be
I'm
angry.
sure they will. I'm sure
I've got
they
a
will.
feeling they will.
Right. I mean, that is a very, very strong point to start out with. The
Mhm.
fact that, hey, I'm an Avenger, I'm an American hero. I've helped save the world a couple of times now, and I can't get alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, I still,
However, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say what I really need from this series is I need Sam to have the shield and be Captain America. Because I want a Captain
Yes.
America movie with Anthony Mackie starring, because I want the heads of racists all over the country to explode when they understand that they got a black Captain America. Now, to a certain extent, they've sort of had an MCU Captain America because we had Isaiah, even though apparently he didn't have the shield and the mask necessarily. But still, I want to hear the popping sounds as I drive down the road.
Yeah.
I do. I need
Well,
it.
that happened with comics for a while.
Yes,
right?
it did.
One of the references that everyone's now going into is people are going back and rereading. I forget who it was. I know the artist is Kyle Baker, where they did
Truth.
This. Yes, where they did.
Yeah,
Truth.
I went and read it.
Okay.
I told you because I kind of left comics before Truth, and when I saw the episode, I said, "Oh God, I hope not." We're asking you about the mist. JJ is in some mist. He's not a gorilla in the mist, but if he's in the Stephen King mist, number one,
This will be number one podcast all time.
Don't shoot your son. Number two, beware of giant flying pterodactyls.
Sure, and that's a much more interesting than the fact that I have a humidifier for my plants, and it's just dry in here, so the humidifier came on, so I was playing with it and forgot that I was in front of a camera. I was just merely playing.
It was an interesting effect.
I was like, oh, he's got a hookah. That's cool.
Well, I thought, he is in Oregon.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I work for. I get government.
Yeah, he
money.
works for the
can't
state.
go- I can't go
That's
near
true.
that
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
I am clean as.
Well, I just thought your window was open.
Nice
Well,
and
there is that too, but I probably would get busted for that too. I just got a random like a week ago.
just look nice and moist.
Yeah.
But now, so the funny thing though, there was a meme that went around in regards to both WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and definitely it kind of hit home. It was like, this is how you know white privilege is real, right? When you're a non-existent all-white android, and yet you can actually purchase a deed to a piece of property for your wife that you're no longer around for. But as a black dude that helps save the country, you can't get a loan at a bank to buy to help finance your own house and business.
Yeah.
Think about it. Vision left her a deed. And it's like, wait, the android can actually go and buy a piece of property?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when the co-signers captain Steve Rogers or Tony Stark.
Are we sure?
Yeah. So he as Jarvis, he got back pay for working for Tony. That's what it was.
Oh, is that it?
For all we know, Vision was embezzling.
But did we actually know from the first episode?
Let's go with that.
The
I'd
first
rather
episode
go with that.
of Captain America, or excuse me, of Falcon and Winter Soldier, they let you know that they don't get paid though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I was saying. He didn't get paid for being an Avenger. He got paid for being a disembodied computer voice.
Mhm.
he was
Superman.
Superman
He
3
also knew where all the money was. Come on, he probably had more offshore.
So was it really
accounts.
so was it purchased by Vision or was it purchased by Ultron?
Ultron.
Dun, dun,
Ultron.
dun.
Yeah,
Ultron.
He was the co-signer.
Ultron LLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say
Based
that
out of
both,
Sarkovia.
yeah. I will say that both WandaVision and Falcon, if you turn down the sound at various parts when they start rolling in trucks, you could play the theme from Convoy, and it does almost sync up.
Oh, good Lord.
We're back on this.
This is what happens when you drink.
So as far as like having trouble making the jump from WandaVision to Captain America, part of the thing for me is that WandaVision was insular. There's never been anything like it, and I don't know there's going to be anything exactly like it again.
Right.
So, it's that mythical first shot of heroin. You're never going to get it again. So just enjoy it. And so I expected Falcon and Winter Soldier to be basically the kind of show that it is. More of a, I'm going to growl at you. No, I'm going to growl at you.
So essentially what you're saying is it's the cocaine compared to the heroin
Yes.
of WandaVision.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
So what is next? Crack?
No, I think it's going to be
Meth.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which will
Well-
basically be speedballing.
Well,
Oh,
the next
yeah.
Loki comes before that, though,
is,
doesn't it?
Spider-Man.
yeah, after this
before
comes Black Widow, and then which, as far as I have, they actually announced that that's going to stream as well, or
I think it's gonna
Nope.
it's gonna stream, isn't it?
It's going to Disney Plus. You got to pay $30 for it, just like you had to for like Mulan and stuff. And here's the
Mhm.
thing:
that.
is
Who
when they
had to pay
first-
for Milan?
right?
Somebody.
When they first started doing, when they did that for Milan, I was like, well, I'll never do that. That's stupid. But now I'm like, I was talking to my roommate, who is female, and just the whole journey of how Scarlett Johansson got left out of all the fucking toys. They've really underrepresented Black Widow again and again and again. And now that the female character finally gets her own film, it's not through anyone's fault, but it's getting released in the middle of a pandemic. It's going to make the least money of all of them, and so I kind of feel like, as someone who does like the MCU and someone who feels like we should support different voices and different representation in films, I feel like I'm gonna fucking buy it.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm going to buy it anyway, right? So if I go to the movies right now to watch a Marvel film, right, I'm going to go ahead and spend the money and buy the IMAX, right? But I'm probably not going by myself, right? It's either going to be my wife or it's going to be my daughter. I've already spent that $30 in ticket for those tickets with the select seating and everything else. If you dump any kind of condiments, food, whatever on top of that, I've now spent $80, right? Because we all know the popcorn costs more than the ticket.
And they make more money off the soda.
They do.
They say that, but I don't believe them.
Now that I'm going, like, this may actually, I think, not counting the indie stuff that I'll probably go see, but Widow's probably going to be the next thing I see in an actual theater now that I can actually go to a fucking movie theater.
I can't.
You just finished your vaccination round.
I am
Yeah, he's
today. I am. Yeah, I'm. But the social commentary here, folks. Still wear your mask. Still social distance. Don't be an ass clown.
I've been wearing my mask the entire time.
I know.
Planet.
But
what are you saying?
But I'm just here for everybody.
Like, this is the best thing to ever happen. I get to wear a mask all the time. Sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get to go into Publix.
Where now?
I've been
do a heist. It's great.
Which I didn't tell you this because I wanted to wait till Rox was on the call. I threw somebody out of the store yesterday for coming in without a mask. Wait for it, with their alpaca.
Wait. They walked in with an alpaca and no mask.
Yes.
Weirdly, the alpaca had a mask on.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
And I said, "Why do you have an alpaca?" And she pulled out all of her, and it had a little thing. It was instead of a guide dog, it was a rescue animal thing. Yeah.
Wait, was it a rescue animal or emotional support alpaca?
I don't know. It was one of them. It was just, dude.
Wow.
I had to stop and realize that I had not taken any drugs or had any whiskey in like 19 hours. So I just was like, no, you got to go. And the guy was really nice. He's like, is it the mask or the alpaca? And I said, it's the mask.
The alpaca
to
can
our-
stay.
Welcome to our new band.
Yeah,
Mask
no-
Alpaca.
But yeah, so
Theaters.
I mean, like the thing is, like just on a lark today, I looked into like the real theater chain to see what movies. I'm like, oh my god, it is like watching Cinemax at 4 a.m. going to the movies now. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go see The Father and then get the fuck out of the theater, you know. But yeah, I think Black Widow is like the only thing that I probably, because I'm still not going to go to a lot of movies, but I think that is the only thing that would probably at this point drag me to go see a movie in the theater.
Not the new Suicide Squad.
Uh,
I admit, if theaters were open here, which they are not,
I'm gonna love Capaldi. I don't know if I'm gonna love anybody else.
but if theaters
How
were
dare
open,
you not like John Cena?
I was thinking the same thing.
Well,
King Shark, man.
I didn't see. the thing
Idris
is,
Elba?
I didn't see.
Stallone
the-
is King Shark.
Stallone,
well, I didn't
yeah,
really. I did not see. I didn't see the last one yet.
we wasn't in the
Nothing
last
to
one.
do with
That's
the
right.
last
Nobody
one.
was in the last
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just Boomerang and
Harley and
Harley.
Flag.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
the last
The
one,
three
so,
of them.
And Viola Davis,
right.
Okay.
who
I haven't
was the
seen
best
that.
part of the first film anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, has Cena been in the because I haven't seen him if he's been in the DC universe yet at all. If he has done his part in that, I have not seen it.
Yeah, no, that's you just need to watch the new trailer that's come out and then
Okay.
see what you think because it is so
Kaiju.
obviously
I think
James Gunn.
I think he's hilarious.
Kaiju Starro.
I saw him in an Arby's once, and he was
Can't
like,
even.
I'm a
Dude.
Marvel guy, and that got me hard.
and he was
Are
like
you-
the night.
I could not believe JJ. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, Starro, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. Like,
Was not
literally-
expecting that because that wasn't in the first trailer either.
No,
No, I know that was a surprise, and it could be that Starro is even a red herring, and there's another big bad behind Starro. I don't care. It's like James Gunn is bringing Starro to the big screen. He is a goddamn hero.
Now wait, who's Idris Elba playing? Because I literally have purposely not paid attention to this much.
Bloodsport. Bloodsport is a great character for Superman who basically has an entire warehouse of weapons somewhere and can teleport anything he wants to his hands and shoot you with it.
So like Idris Elba can do in real life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I purposely haven't been
In
like
fact,
watching
that's how they
movie
say-
trailers.
That's how they save money in the budget because they just had him do his normal thing,
Yeah.
so they didn't have to
Yeah.
CGI anything in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally am not watching movie trailers for anything, so I'm not. I can be totally surprised.
Well, there are very few.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen Kong versus Godzilla that trailer yet, or you know.
that
Well, it
is
comes
one
out
that
tomorrow.
if I could go to a movie theater to see that, I probably would.
You know, I
Yeah.
probably would too.
For
I-
that, yes.
Well,
friends
you
of
know.
mine have rented a AMC theater and they're
That's what I was going to say. You can do
Oh,
that.
wow.
You
Yeah.
can't do that here.
Oh.
Wait, you can do all the damn drugs, but you can't go to a movie theater?
Listen,
No, they're
if
all
you were in the
closed.
middle of a pandemic and you knew that people could do all the damn drugs, would you let them have a private screening?
Yes.
Okay, just asking.
Yes.
that's
Absolutely.
the one time I would let them. do private
Yes,
screening.
absolutely.
So,
I mean,
so
you could put cannabis oil on your popcorn, or cannabis butter on your popcorn, and fucking enjoy the hell out of it. But no, and we have. I don't know if this is true anymore, but it used to be that Portland had more movie screens per capita than any other city in the United States.
Yeah, I think that's
Wow.
right.
wow.
And we have one or two movie houses here that are not like the big chains. They're a local chain that are like old one screen theaters. That
God, my one of my 5 favorite old theaters is there.
Baghdad.
Yeah.
I go to see everything I possibly can at the Baghdad. That is my favorite theater this side of, say, like Grauman's Chinese.
Yeah, because when
Wow.
I went, they were between shows, and I was just walking around, and they had the door locks and stuff, and I was like looking in. Somebody came up, did you just want to see the theater? And I'm like, yeah. So they let us in to like walk around and see it.
Nice.
Wow.
Because I love old theaters, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, ooh, this is amazing. And the guy was explaining like the whole history of it, and yeah, it was really cool.
And because everything went digital, it's not like the old days when you used to go to a cheaper theater and you could you knew that the prints were going to be all scratched up and shit. It is, and the nice thing about it is, and this is just movie nerd shit. You go to like a Regal or one of the big chains, they as a money saving cost, usually they will go half wattage on their bulbs. It's fine. You don't really notice it, but it means your blacks aren't, your blacks sort of bleed out.
Yeah.
And like, God help you if you go see a 3D movie, because then you're going to see a movie wearing shades. If you go to the independent theaters here, they actually show, they push the bulbs to full wattage, which means they burn out twice as fast and they're expensive. But the difference in like just the way the colors pop and shit on the screen, it's great. It's so much better.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they serve beer.
Well, and that's why Alamo Drafthouse needs to survive, is because they still owe us one. I want one here. We're supposed to get one. God damn it.
They have opened a thing here. Well, it's when I say open, it means it's standing, but you can't go in yet. They built a thing here called the Foundry, and it's basically the guys that did the Ponce Market in Atlanta built the Foundry here.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
And it's in the old armory from the war. And what sucks about it is they pulled out that whole mess with, it was going to have an Alamo Drafthouse, and now it's not.
Oh.
We have a movie theater here called the Hollywood that's like not partnered with Alamo, but they're the people who run it are friends with the dude who runs the Alamo Drafthouse chain. And so they sometimes will like so the Hollywood, I guess, has this like huge catalog of like celluloid films that are like in their basement. So they'll sometimes just like, if a Shaw Brothers movie or something goes to one of the Alamo Drafthouse, it's usually borrowed from here. And it's also, that's the theater that Quentin Tarantino went to see the 35 millimeter. Was it 35? No, 70 millimeter projection of Inglourious Bastards, because he was like, he believed that we had the best 70 millimeter projector. He was like, this is where I wish everyone could come see my movie.
Nice.
So there's that documentary about that one art house revival theater in LA that Quentin Tarantino pretty much bought the building so that they could survive.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice little documentary. I saw that like last month.
Rock, send me that so I can see it. I'll add it to my list.
Okay.
Now, you guys have seen, what is it, Mondo? I forget where they found it. They found this entire stash of old letterpress ads from newspapers.
Yes. Oh my God, that's crazy.
And they have started putting out artwork using these ads, old vintage ads. Like, for example, I got that's basically like old, Cars and Girls movies, and they got Joe Bob Briggs to create a one that was like just like pulp cult movies. So it's like an but they print it new using the bits that they found in this like basement somewhere. It's an amazing stuff.
It's a treasure trove. I think you could get like a shower curtain.
I think you're right. I gotta find that.
And stuff. Yeah.
Let me see what it's called.
I remember I was remembering that like back in the day when you had your adult theaters, they advertised in the newspaper, so right. The ads for X-rated stuff was really funny. So like my sister and our goofy friend Ellen, like one was called the Art Theater. This was in Binghamton. We would hang out like across the street, and if there was a guy going in the front, we'd just scream out "Permit!" because we were like 9, 10. So it was great.
So yeah, the shower curtain, you're right, with ads on it for like Psycho and Frankenstein 1970
Yeah.
paper, multiple different things, the wrapping paper, new, what is it? Shirts. It's
Oh, the press room.
brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Oh.
cool.
Oh,
They're
so
supposed to be doing a documentary as well.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. And aren't they selling some of that stuff? Like you can get the plates.
Yeah.
I don't know about the
That'd
plates.
be cool.
I don't know about the plates, but I know that. Oh, nice! Alex Winter did a poster as well. So they're bringing in people to basically hand select stuff that they want.
Yeah.
As a poster and doing that.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Very cool.
So Rob, I met my neighbors that live in the Brian Setzer house.
Oh, so Brian Setzer doesn't live there anymore.
Well, no, he had that as rental property.
Okay. See, I thought it was actually Brian Setzer that was.
No, it's a little, it's
just the
All right.
orchestra.
So I need to apologize for mailing him the poop then.
Whoa.
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
Well,
But if he doesn't live there, he didn't get the poop.
So get this. So I'm outside and I'm tending the bees, like, what are you doing? So, and the one chick comes out and she's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, oh, hi. Is this okay? Are you okay with this? Because we just put it in. We just put the hive in, not notifying anybody. And she goes, oh yeah, we have beehives up in Georgia. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And she stops and she goes, is that Spaz house? And I said, well, yeah, because I got letters on the front of my house. It says Spaz. Everybody knows this in the neighborhood. And she turns and she goes, we listen to your show once in a while. And I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking, does Brian Setzer make you listen to it for like 10% off your rent? So yeah, that was kind of weird. It's like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, great.
Now, which show are they talking about? Is that the she run out of there for
this?
Okay.
They listen to us.
Oh, okay.
So I think if anything, he makes them listen so that, it's like, hey, for 10% off your rent, make sure they don't talk about me.
We failed this week.
So thanks, Liz.
That's awesome. Rox, you have that whole Alistair Cook thing going on.
I do, yeah.
Is that an old radio next to you?
No, it's a wood model my boyfriend made it.
Because if it looked like an old radio,
Nice.
yeah,
It does. So I don't know, it turns. It's got like, I don't know. All right, so here's the thing. He's got a condo downtown and he likes putting this stuff together, but he doesn't want it in his place. So he's like, here, just take this off off my hands. I don't know if I'm turning it and it's not working. So it's supposed to, like, I don't know, do something.
That's actually pretty awesome though.
It is cool.
It is
cool.
I like it.
So I got like, there's this, the Zeppelin, the submarine. Oh, and the hurdy-gurdy. So I got 4. So he loves these things. So, but he doesn't want them at his house.
That's because when you combine them and wind them all up, they open a gateway to hell.
This is
did I say that?
true. Yes, and he doesn't know that. Only I know that. So So that's what that is. It's very nice. Yeah, it's a company. It's called U-Gears. And a lot of the companies are doing, like, if they come up with a new one, they'll do a crowdfunding type thing.
Okay.
And, just to drum up interest and stuff. And since I said the word crowdfunding, did you guys see where the Keanu Reeves Berserker comic crowdfunded like 1.4 million to bring his comic book to life?
Wait, what?
So Keanu Reeves, I guess.
The Berserker comic.
Yeah, the Berserker comic. Yeah, so it actually landed a New York Times article because it was quick. So Kickstarter, I guess that may have ended. So with Indiegogo, you can like sort of keep if you meet your goal, you can go to in demand. So you can still keep raising money as you're into production. I only know this because I actually follow crowdfunding stuff for a TV production company. So every week I had to supply a new report. So like last week, the New York Times and somebody else reported on the crowdfunding, 1.4 million for the Berserker comic, which is actually pretty cool. So anyway, the U-Gears, they do the same thing. So it's like, it's a way of, instead of like putting a product out, hoping people will buy it, they can see if it's a go, and then they can produce it. Somebody's producing a digital version of Steve Jackson's Illuminati.
Ooh.
So they're using a lot of the old art from the 1990s card game, and they're trying to make that into a digital game with new art and stuff. So that's kind of neat. I don't know where that is right at the moment, but that launched, I think, like last month or so. And on the other news, apparently, so the Tolkien thing that was a failure on crowdfunding.
Which Tolkien thing?
So, I'm surprised you didn't hear this.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this either.
So, a lot of the actors, there's a nonprofit in Great Britain that wanted to buy the house that Tolkien wrote The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, because it's up for sale, but it was like for like $4 million or something. So Ian McKellen, Martin Freeman, Jared Jacoby, they all did this really cool, like, COVID, discussion on, a crowdfunding intro, because what they wanted to do was buy the nonprofit wanted to buy the house and have it as a writer's retreat type of a thing. So
that's cool.
But yeah, it didn't make it. It failed. So what they should have done was do a. Here's the thing. So what I've noticed by watching, and just reviewing, crowdfunding things, the object is to not have your goal so high that you'll fail,
right?
But have it low enough that if you go past it, then you could put it on another platform such as Indiegogo, and they have in demand. So you can then have several, crowdfunding things, or you're just continuing. So it's not like, hey, we got 30 days to raise money and that's it. And right. The problem is I've seen stuff where it's like, yeah, that's a good product, but they put the goal too high.
Right.
So it's just like, if they lowered it, then they can extend it. there's a way of juggling that. So,
Right.
but with Keanu Reeves, it's like, I'm Keanu Reeves. So it's like, yeah, that's like a no-brainer. But the artwork does look good in that. So we could always do that for us, I guess. I don't know. Crowdfunding. Give us money.
Better than crowd surfing.
This is true.
Yeah, this is very true.
Yeah.
I personally
So-
have failed at crowd surfing and crowd sourcing before. So
Hey, so have I.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
that's okay.
The other thing about crowd surfing is it needs to be done in the appropriate environment, because
It does.
I remember at a festival, I was watching Cake, and people were crowd surfing to Cake. And I was like, this is fucking Cake. And I thought what you need is, for things like that, you need maybe a square of concrete, like 6 feet by 6 feet, that there's nothing on except it's just concrete. And so when you get someone crowd surfing that shouldn't be at a place where they shouldn't be, everyone just works together to pass them to the concrete and dumps their ass on the concrete, because otherwise they'll never learn. It's
Well,
fucking
yeah,
Cake.
that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happens. When somebody tries to crowdfund it at the symphony, it just doesn't work.
Crowdfunded
Crowd surfing. Well, that too.
they take their financial pitch and throw it on a slab of
Right.
concrete.
It's like, here it is. Here's your crowdfunding.
I've seen it happen. It's brutal.
Could
Yeah,
be.
it's brutal. Oh my God.
Yes.
What else did we?
Oh,
Ah,
you
fuck,
mentioned
oh,
that
so-
the irregulars.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's that Netflix show that's obviously going to be canceled after the first
Yeah, it's bad.
season. But yeah,
We're watching
really.
it. We're watching it. Nicole picked it up. So
I tried.
We are watching
I
it.
watched the first episode and then tried watching the second episode. I'm like, oh God.
I like the idea.
Really?
yeah.
Well, it's almost like, I guess the word got out of what is it, the Nevers,
Mm.
Yeah.
which looks good. I mean, gosh, your HBO, you're going to have money. I mean, which then harkens back to Penny Dreadful, which was
yeah.
really good. So I think
Season.
people are latching on to that. Who I didn't like off of the irregulars was Watson, only because it's like, you're so mean.
Yeah. He kind of. I'm wondering where they're
And
going.
it wasn't because of who he was. I'm like, no, you're not. I mean, even from the perspective of a Sherlock Holmes pastiche, there was nothing to me that says I'm John Watson. There really wasn't. And he's the go-between between the little street urchins who are kind of clean, but I'll have to try the second episode, because I'm just like, okay, I'm done, because there's a supernatural element and stuff,
Right.
and I don't know,
Well,
unless they
what
make him better.
Right. What I thought would be interesting was that either one of two things, either because if I remember correctly, and Rox, correct me if I'm wrong, there's always a plausible explanation for anything supernatural that happens in a Sherlock Holmes story. None of them
Correct.
purely supernatural.
Correct.
So
Correct.
the idea is that this could be all the cases that were supernatural that Watson didn't document in the cases that were published because he didn't want to freak everyone out.
Well,
So I thought that would be one thing.
yeah, but see, the thing is they have him, which is funny because Watson in the original stories really knew nothing of the irregulars.
Mm.
And it's Watson who seeks these kids out to do, to help them out. And so there's some, if you sort of, there's issues with like mushing canon
Right.
of what was done and
Well,
what's not done.
The other idea I thought would be cool is if it turned out to be, you're familiar with the Neil Gaiman story, A Study in Emerald?
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Without giving anything away, if it was something like that, where it turns out Watson isn't what you expect Watson
Yeah.
to be, I thought that might be interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've seen it, so you obviously know more about it than I do. I
Yeah.
based on the trailer, I was just thinking of ways you could go with it because I didn't know what to think about it. I am not a
Well,
Holmesian
it's so
specialist.
funny. Yeah. Well, it's funny when you talk like canon and stuff, and and I am in the Doyle camp of like do whatever you want with it.
Right.
It's just for some reason everyone's really keen on the way Sherlock should be. And here's the thing, you don't see Sherlock in the first episode. And I haven't seen him yet.
Well, and we may have seen him. He may have been. How many episodes are you in?
I watched the 1.5.
Okay,
and I'm like,
there's the, I want to say, third episode.
Yeah. Is that when he shows up? Yeah.
Where, well,
He's
kind
good showing up in disguise, right?
Well, here's the thing. You
Hmm.
don't know because there's one of the urchins, without giving the scene away, who sneaks into the house.
Yeah,
And
I know that they made the plan of doing that in the second
he
episode.
snuck into the house.
Okay.
Watson has already gone. Someone has come into the house and the kid hides underneath the bed. Well, the person comes in, they shove their boots off, they start playing the violin. Oh, well, the kid hides under the bed. The person, ends up taking their shoes off. You don't see who the person is, but they start playing the violin. Then they pass out on top of the bed. Of course, the normal trope of, great, you hide under the bed, someone's going to come lay on it.
Yeah.
And then the kid goes to get out from under the bed. And as he's waiting for the person to like fall asleep or whatever, the person pukes all over the side where he has to crawl through the puke to get out.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And that's what you see of Sherlock. And Nicole was like, well, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, there might be a history of some, either alcoholism or drug abuse going on during that.
Opium abuse, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought, but I wasn't clear on it. So
yeah, no, there is that. Yeah.
by the way, 10:30 tomorrow morning, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I will get the first dose.
Congratulations.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
There you go. How far is that for you?
Which 25 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
25 minutes.
So after all that, you ended up getting an appointment that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, let's hope. I still have to work tomorrow, so I'm just gonna. But my employer seems to be fairly understanding with that, where I will just say, hey, I've got an appointment for in the morning. I need to bounce over to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, go get my shot.
Here they're treating it like voting, like you're allowed like you can come into work late or early if you're voting.
So here's the deal, right? Legitimately, under normal circumstances, my management wouldn't bat an eye at this. Right now, we're having an emergency where we're all working a considerable amount of hours to make some things happen. It's an all hands on deck kind of situation. With that, I've been working like weekends and what have you, and having to be on calls, up until like literally I got off a call just after 8 this evening. Right. And that's typically, it's been that way for a second. With that, so normally it's, no, hey, I just need to take off. I'm gonna let you know where I'm going. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Long as whatever needs to get done gets done and you're responding, right? And of course, I'll have my work phone and Teams attached to that and everything else. But with this situation, it's kind of dicey. So I have to go, hey, I know we're busy. But, definitely one of my calls today, someone was like, I'm going to get my shot today. And they were like, oh, well, then take off. So, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But 10:30 in the morning's a good time.
I hope everything goes really well for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
you.
glad you're getting it done, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and I got the Pfizer.
Good.
Oh.
Hey, hey,
There you
hey.
go.
Good. So you won't get the sickness and the
Maybe not. Who knows?
Pfizer
Yeah.
buddies.
Yeah.
Pfizer buds.
Yep. I really thought I was going to feel worse than I did, but
Did you get Moderna?
no, I got Pfizer.
I'll be right.
The only thing I had after the first one, I had a headache and I was kind of tired. Second time, I had a really sore arm for about a day. And then I literally, from about 7:00 that night on, I slept, I think Janet said like 14, 15 hours straight.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So that was cool. I said, I missed anything? And she goes, well, so yeah. So I didn't really have any side effect stuff. She gets hers on Monday and it's Moderna, but she's like, I planned to take the next day off work and I pre-recorded the radio show and stuff just in case anything weird happened. So that part of it was cool, but she, I'm expecting her to have a little bit of blowback on it just because the Moderna one seems to be the one that kind of hits people a little bit.
Right.
I just had the sore arm for the first one.
Yeah.
And I saw a friend of mine, he had the Pfizer, but so he's in the vulnerable category. And I said, how did that go? And he's like, he wound up getting an anaphylactic shot, allergic reaction to the Pfizer one. So,
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
yeah, but he's okay.
So in Mississippi, they've opened it up to everybody, and my best friend back in Mississippi got Moderna, and he's only had the first, but he had absolutely no issue with it whatsoever.
Good. That's nice to know. I mean, I just want everybody to get it.
Yeah.
Have their world go well.
Yep. Well, what was it? I was listening to a podcast, In the Bubble podcast that Andy Slevitt was doing, and it's being guest hosted now while he's working on the vaccine stuff for the Biden administration. But the Dr. Bob Wachter, who's hosting it now, had a couple of epidemiologists on there and was asking him, listen, if all things being equal, if you could choose the vaccine you could get, which one would you pick? And the guy was like, well, it's kind of comparing apples to oranges when really everybody just needs fruit, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That being said, I still didn't want the Johnson & Johnson.
I did, because we have Johnson & Johnson here. So I'm like, hey, keep it local. That's my thing.
I just didn't like the fact that because I do work with a lot of let's say shorthand, I'll just say fucking idiots in the public. And
hey, I know that feeling.
And because my company very much is in the bad parenting of don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, but then not do anything about it category. So I was like, I know that it is 100% away from keeping you, it'll keep you out of the hospital, it'll keep you from death. That's all great. I also don't want these idiots to get me sick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And since it was, more closer to the 70 percentile, whereas the other two are in like the 90 percentile, I was like, a 70 is great, but 90 is better.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who's a doctor who's been on the an urgent care doc, like an ER and an urgent care doc in the middle of this, and then another friend of mine is a virologist who's been working on it for Pfizer, on the Pfizer one, and they both have said that when they build build vaccines, they account for a certain number of variants in them. So as long as we don't collectively fuck up a fourth wave, generally, it's going to keep, in theory, it's going to keep a lot less people from dying, but you still might get sick. But then there was something today that thinks that like it could render it basically like a mild flu, which, hey, I'll take, in a heartbeat.
Right.
So.
Well, the other thing that was good that they reminded me of on one of these podcasts was this is not supposed to be the last vaccine. This is still,
Right.
we're still in the keep you from dying so you can
Yep.
actually get on with life vaccine, not to the point. And they had a good point as well, where they said people are frustrated with what's going on, but we're not used to being here. We're used to, for the most part, by the time I showed up, I don't know that any vaccines were in major active development like this, where we were, we weren't in the middle of polio. We weren't in the middle of like fighting off smallpox or anything. We're not used to being in a situation where we're having to learn on the fly and create vaccines.
Yeah. I mean, looking at my mom,
by the seat of our pants, which is a very educated seat of our pants, but
yeah, looking at like the stuff my mom has all of her stuff from when she worked in the polio wards, and there's all kinds of notes and stuff. And it's like, they have not really ever gotten a vaccine this fast. Part of it is that they've researched, okay, how did they do, when they developed AZT, how did they do that? What did they do for polio? What did they do for what? They looked at other things to see what worked. And then they said, okay, what is this similar to? Right. The other thing, and I have to keep explaining this to people I know that don't believe in it, is that, generally in the past we've had vaccines, everybody's sort of working on it and doing their thing. No, this is the entire fucking world is all working on it, and like everybody's helping everybody work on it. So a lot of this gets really sped up because, we're thinking as a species instead of as a series of nation states. So,
which is why I think
that's really beautiful.
While we're at it, we should, once COVID is taken care of, we should just switch gears to Alzheimer's, and then when we take care of that, tackle cancer, and then after that, tackle sleep, and just keep going down the list until we've got everything under control. I think that would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have found like Alzheimer's is still incredibly terrifying, but at least we have made some in the last like 5 years, some really good headway there. At least finding causes and things.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when my mom had CJD and I talked to the people in, I think it was Northwestern University who have the CJD center there, basically, where they track this stuff. What they said to me was over the phone, yeah, we know more about CJD than we know about Alzheimer's. To which my response was, we don't know a fucking thing about CJD. Because I'd been reading everything we had on it. And it's like, we hardly know anything about Alzheimer's. So yeah, it's all scary stuff. That's why I'm like, while we're all on the same page, if you need to go back to like, if you need somebody, send an intern over there to do that research about, what hamsters will react to what ringtone sitting in mayonnaise or whatever that thing was. And the rest of us, let's just work on this one project and knock it out and move on to the next thing.
Yes. Please.
Yes, absolutely.
This probably is not the time then for me to go into my rant on why there should be socialized medicine in the United States. And
I would completely agree with you. So
get rid of the for-profit model in on human life in general for things like prisons and medicine, and that way we take out that particular incentive for everyone to work alone and work together as a better human race.
Yeah, I can't argue with you at this point. My only concern is that, like, we talk about coming up with some better way of handling vaccination for the next one of these, because there will be another
Mhm.
Yes, and we used to
One.
have a task
And-
force that was in charge
do.
of
Well, we
outbreaks.
do now, don't we?
Oh, it's back. We now have the task force
That's
back.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
But here's my
I'll
concern.
be damned.
I kind of want that to be put. I kind of want that to be put in the hands of another organization.
Look, I would love
that the
for
next time we get a little fucker in the White House, they can't touch it. That would be ideal.
Well, luckily though, the best thing about all of that is that right now, the voice of the people is being protected everywhere, and the next vote is going to just go so well for the will of the American people. It's not being manipulated or keeping people from it.
Well, the good news is that unless there's an election coming up in the next couple of months that I don't know about, which there could be, we have a little bit of time before the next election to fix all this bullshit that's coming down the line at the state level.
We have 2 years. We have 2 years to fix it, and I admit, when they first started talking about, I thought I knew more about this than I did, but when they were first talking about wrecking the filibuster, I was like, no, you can't do that, because my first thought is to go, it's a protection for the party on the bottom, and you have those images of Jimmy Stewart in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yes.
But then,
would you like some soup?
But then you find out
that was great.
That was great.
You find out that the
You
filibuster.
look like you're a pretty good lay.
Whoa. Whoa.
But you find out the
Jimmy.
filibuster has been changed to the point of now they just kind of go, meh, filibuster, and they all go home. Like, no. You gotta fucking stand there and look all disheveled and sweaty like Jimmy Stewart. If you don't believe in it, then it doesn't mean anything. So even someone like me, who when this was first coming up, I was like, no, must keep filibuster. Now I'm like, no, fucking kill it.
Yep.
Kill it dead with fire.
Yeah. Like that's me. It's my whole thing is the way apparently this makes me a radical liberal, which I did not know, which was weird. But I
Radical
actually,
liberal agenda.
Yep. Well, I considered myself a conservative because my whole thing is there a way to do this without involving the federal government? No? Okay, I guess we need to involve them then. I just want to ask that one question because sometimes that question doesn't get asked. And unfortunately, so many of the things that we've got going on right now are so fucked that the answer is, it's gotta happen.
Right. Well, and the whole paradigm of what is conservative and what is liberal has changed so much. Even the terms that we grew up with, like big government and small
Don't
government,
really apply.
No, because the fact of the matter is, me as as someone who, bleeding heart all the way, never hidden from my commie pinko roots, still believes that the government should stay the fuck out of my house. Should stay the fuck out of my life, should basically just make things available for me to be able to live my life.
What a nice concept. If only the conservatives today who call themselves conservatives felt that way.
Yeah, my dad said something to me when I was a little kid. I don't think he meant for this to be something that became like a
trauma.
A mantra of sorts, because it's something that I don't think he meant it for me to take it in as many ways as I have, but it's just one of those things that.
How many ways did you take it?
At just the right time. My dad was.
Say it slowly.
No, my dad was a human being, but he told what he said to me was that your right to wave your arms ends at the other guy's nose.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's exactly how I believe everything goes, because that is not just, that means that, anything that happens between two consenting adults, that's their, I don't care if they're swingers. I don't care if, if they are married for convenience. I don't give a shit about any of that. That is their life, their house, their life to live, their life to lead, excuse me.
Yep.
And so that's, of course, the government has nothing to do with any of that, and it has, if you are If you are making a shit ton of noise in public, turn it down. Other people's other people are there. It's just live your life,
Yeah.
live your life for you and leave everybody else the fuck alone.
Right. Now, the only codicil I had to that, because my dad told me the same thing. And I actually have this in the terms of use for the website. If you visit Need Coffee, you agree to this by visiting the website per the terms of use. Is that basically my dad always said, the right to extend your fist ends with my nose. And my response was, that's true, but your right to extend your nose ends with my fist. So
True.
if my fist is hanging out in space and you run into it, whose fault is that? So for anyone who's not read the terms of use, be aware that needcoffee.com is technically my fist. So
All right.
if you show up and are offended, just know that I will simply be offended that you are offended, and then it will never end.
and they'll tell two friends, and you'll tell two friends, and so on and so on.
And so on and so on.
I
Thus,
can
the
see
mimetic
now.
virus spreads.
As they put it in a Bloom County cartoon years ago, it's offensive. Blah, my tongue's not working tonight. Offense sensitivity.
Yes.
Yes.
Or as they also put it in what was the follow-up to Bloom County?
Outland.
Outland.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Which I've never been able to find again, but the one strip where everyone was saying, "Oh, my hair is messed up. I must have slept on it weird." And Opus comes out and his nose is all messed up. He's, "Oh, my nose is messed up. I should have slept on it weird." And one of the other characters comes out and says, "All right, stop it. I saw that. You were being silly. This entire strip is pointless and silly, and it needs to come to an end." And so that's what I've thought about most things over the course of my life is, I saw that. You were being pointless and silly.
For the
So
record,
you were Ted Cruz.
Oh, yeah, you need to,
Cancun, though.
yeah, Madman sent me something before
Can we not discuss him?
that's just the most hilariously evil thing
Dick fingers.
ever.
Oh, dude, yeah, I saw that today, and it was.
Yeah, Rob, I sent it to you. I think I'm pretty sure I sent it to
No,
everyone.
it was funny because I got it from you and Janet at like literally the same time.
Oh my God.
That's terrifying.
Wait, Janet sent you that?
Yeah.
All I know is that there's that one bar in DC that came up with I think it was a special to-go margarita mix that was the Ted Cruz margarita mix for when you really need to take a vacation, but your entire state is being flooded and has no power. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff.
On a happier note, I will say that if you ever do look for that Outland comic, IDW did republish it.
Oh,
They did
excellent.
They did the hardbound copies of Bloom County, and then when they finished that, they did Outland.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Thank you.
So there is one volume.
Excellent. That was bizarre, wonderful shit, Outland.
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't last that long, did it? Outland.
Well, comparatively speaking, yeah.
It lasted as long as he had the interest to do it, and now he does strips on Facebook.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. But yeah. So jumping back to something we said before, I did look, and between now and Doctor Strange, where was it? Okay. So we've got Shang-Chi is after Black Widow when it comes to feature films.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Tony-
me too. I hope they nail the shit out of that. Then Eternals, which is
Okay.
going to be weird and wonderful. Spider-Man No Way Home, which I certainly hope ignores the second film because it was shit. Then you have Doctor Strange 2.
Oh.
And in no way am I biased about Spider-Man Home, whatever it was, too.
No, you're also wrong. It was great.
Dude, I've been wrong my whole life. I'm cool with that.
Here we go.
I mean, to each their own opinion, but I fucking
yeah,
love that
absolutely.
movie. That
Really?
actually had one of
No,
my favorite moments in the theater in like recent history because people don't react that often. But I went and saw that like opening weekend, and that mid-credit sequence with J.K. Simmons, the crowd actually gasped.
Nice. Well, no, and here's the thing though. I'm actually jealous of you that you liked that film because I wanted to like that film. That is like the one MCU that did not work for me in a violent way. Every other one has been good for me. So I'm jealous. I want to like it, but alas,
I get it.
Maybe it's my medication. I don't know.
It just, it was not the movie you needed on the day that you saw it. And that that happens.
Yeah. I needed a movie. I needed a movie where they had let the creators know what was happening with Endgame so they didn't have to staple a bunch of stuff into the film to make it fit with the MCU as it was going to be. That's what I needed. You're right.
Sure. And that's, that's a legit claim,
But see, here's the thing. I'm not really mad about it because the reveals that happen in Endgame are like some of those cinematic moments I'm going to take with me my entire life, which if they had leaked would have been ruined.
Yes.
So,
right.
It's like am I willing to sacrifice a Spider-Man movie to get that effect? You know what? I am.
I know that I have been waiting because it keeps getting pushed back in production, but I have been waiting for like 6 months now for this Captain America Endgame Hot Toys figure that I just want in my
the Power and Glory figure.
I just want it in my grubby little hands. I want Captain America with Thor's hammer real bad.
Hey now.
Say it slowly. A little more passion.
Use your bedroom voice too.
That is his bedroom voice.
But I've been so single for a long time now. My bedroom voice is all alone.
It echoes.
Yeah.
Really? You're pretty money. That's kind of okay.
Yeah, again, one of those moments where you talk about people not reacting in the cinema. A lot of reactions during that movie in the cinema. A lot of people reacting, even if it was quietly. Let's just say that the bit of a temporal change that happened towards the beginning of the film. You could hear a goddamn pin drop in the cinema,
right,
when those words came up on the screen. That's the shit I'm talking about. Which is why I was so pleased that they were able to keep so much secret for WandaVision, that so much of it was actually a surprise and I had not heard about before.
Mm.
Oh, please.
No, go for it.
Did you watch the making of the Assemble?
Oh, yes.
The first thing that caught me about that is, I mean, first of all, it was absolutely fascinating, but I love the fact that not only did they go with a theater guy to be the showrunner, but
Matt.
he also, what?
Matt Shackman?
Yeah, he was
that it?
but, yeah, but he was also the head of the Geffen Playhouse in LA, and I used to work there.
Ah.
So I was like, oh shit, okay, so he must be the guy who took over after Gil Cates died. Nice.
Well, and he was a sitcom veteran.
Yeah,
a child star.
Right, but so much of that explained why it felt it did feel very, when it needed to feel old school acting, it did, but it did also have a very sort of theatrical sort of because there's a difference in writing in things for the stage and things for the film, because in stage you sometimes have to have exposition because you can't have flashbacks and things like that. And so there's a way of delivering dialogue in the stage for stage that doesn't work for film work, but it did work in like the sitcoms that were sort of like one step down from vaudeville. And so there was so much of that felt stagey in the best possible way.
Neither Madman or I can comment on the stagey aspects of certain parts of that series.
Actually, we can now, right?
Oh, can we? I don't
Were
No.
you
I
watching
think
audio?
now that it's out in the open.
And I think Catherine Hahn might have been in one of our seats actually at one point.
Oh, nice. How many did you get to see?
Everybody.
What they just did the one. They just did the one.
Oh, it was just filmed in front of a live audience. That was filmed in front of a live
Yes.
audience.
Yeah, just that one was actually filmed in front of a live audience,
Yeah,
and we
the
were
very
lucky enough
first
to be there,
episode.
and it was exactly as cool as you think it would be. It was such a treat, especially because nobody does that shit anymore.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh wow.
Yeah, like Paul Bettany almost dying in front of us.
yeah.
So
there was that.
there's a scene. There's the scene where he's going from the living room to the kitchen, and I mean, he bit it so freaking hard that they had to just stop everything. Like it was a boom, and like he's
Oh my gosh.
like busted a hip, was shaking up. It's like, yeah, we're gonna need a minute.
Might not have broken a hip or busted his hip. He had a fake ass on. We now know.
This is true. Now, the only thing I wish they had shown a bit more of, I'm glad they showed all the wire work that they did,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought that was fascinating, where they had them on the crane that had the two ends to it.
Yeah.
But I wish they had shown more behind the scenes of the Vision battle in the library.
Yeah.
Because having to have Paul play opposite himself and, act it from one side and then have to act like with his double on the other side. I wanted to see some more of that. But no, I thought it was the behind the scenes stuff. It has me excited because they're planning to do one for each of the feature films. I understand each of the series. So we're going to get like an hour behind the scenes stuff for each one of them. And I think it's great. Yeah, I think it's great that like that one came out, so that, because I know for a fact that when they are filming these things, it can seem like an imposition on set for both the cast and the crew that you have this entirely separate group of people that have their own agenda that are trying to capture all this shit. But the fact that you can see the end result is this, hey, here's this, you don't have to wait for the Blu-ray or anything, and you don't even have to buy the Blu-ray. It's available. You can see, actually this does turn out cool. So maybe we should let them, not be so pissed off at what they're doing. But no, because I love
but the thing
shit.
is they always, that behind the scenes stuff's worked well for, I mean, how many times did we watch even on HBO? It seemed like every single movie that was shown on, HBO had a behind the scenes type of thing.
I still remember one for
but it was
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, because I absolutely adored that one. Hearing Keanu and Alex Ritter like riff on like what heinous and non-heinous meant, and they were just were really smart, and they were in character, and they were just goofing, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of those,
and
like
for
if you watch
those of us
old,
who were go ahead.
What's that? No, I was just gonna say, like, if you watch older behind the scenes things, that a lot of them are just basically EPKs with like behind the scenes footage, where they're just promoting the show, as opposed to like this, where it was like Blu-ray documentary level feature stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, then you have anything with Werner Herzog, with Klaus Kinski. There was always a behind the scene film with each film, because there was, so the most fascinating thing other than Fitzcarraldo was the behind the scenes making of Fitzcarraldo. I think I was fascinated by that more so than that actual film.
Now, did Disney Plus possibly make a mistake by not having Werner Herzog do the first Mandalorian? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Behind the scenes.
Yes.
Oh, well, I just, now that the Snyder cut is out, I do want the Herzog cut of Justice League.
Oh
I
God.
want it.
You
I
know,
want it.
let's just let everybody take the footage and make their own cuts. Let's have the Smith cut. Let's have
Absolutely.
let's have the
Eli Roth cut.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
have
Oh,
the
wow.
let's
the-
have the what's that guy Goss, the French horror director who always likes to have people peel their skin off and shit. That it's very hard to watch his films. Let's do one of those.
let's Scorsese have
Yeah.
a whiff at it.
Jane Campion cut.
Okay.
Um,
So I want to, I want to see a Wes Anderson version.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Ah!
Yes.
Wow.
It's all going to take
do.
place in on miniatures, and it's going to be all fucking pink and blue, and it's going to look
I'll
like
watch it.
And we're gonna have matching tracksuits.
Now hold on.
Oh
hold on.
yes. Now you're talking.
Darjeeling Express had a lot of blues in that.
it still looked like walking through a park in Portland in the middle of spring. And I live here. I don't need to hear the fucking Decemberists.
Now, JJ, you have seen, I don't know if it's a Tumblr or an Instagram that accidentally Wes Anderson, where they post things that look like they're in a Wes Anderson film, but they aren't.
Yes.
I think the one that the first one I saw was
like a giveaway too.
Oh, I didn't see that. I did see that there was a press conference during the former administration where they were on. There was like a lectern in front of a series of concrete steps, and all the people in white lab coats were evenly spaced out. And when you put it in that context, you go, "Holy shit! It does. It looks like Wes Anderson's Contagion. It's fucked up."
I mean, don't get me wrong. I obviously, I live in Portland. I am white. I have seen every Wes Anderson movie. I have.
and some of them are very good.
And if Bill Murray shows up at the end of Justice League as fucking Guy Gardner, sure, it's all worth it.
So on Instagram, it's called Wes Anderson Planet.
Okay.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's that fucking T-top shanty that's going around about the Wellerman, and then Guy Gardner shows up as Bill Murray, and then you go, okay, well, that's why I came here.
I think if Bill Murray's the voice of Darkseid, that would be great.
No.
Cinderella story.
No. No.
But
No.
but do you think?
But Tilda Swinton needs a job.
She's
Oh,
Granny.
Tilda Swinton is Granny
She's
Goodness.
Granny Goodness.
Yep. Although
We're already there.
Although Madman, I still one of the best things to ever come out of animated DC is the fact that someone thought to cast Ed Asner as Granny Goodness in the Superman series.
I swear to you, I laugh about that all the time because
I do
fits,
too.
It fits perfectly.
It's so perfect.
And I just realized the reason why I would be wholeheartedly down for a Wes Anderson Justice League, because I just realized that would give us Angelica Houston as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Now
take the fucking money already. Just take it.
Is it Wonder Woman or Hippolyta? Is that Hippolyta? Whatever.
I personally let her have Wonder Woman. Just let her have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's
I'm not gonna
smoking.
argue. I'm just asking about casting.
Yes, exactly, Rox. That's what I was going for. I'm like, is there a gin and tonic and a cigarette?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Let me
amazing.
tell
You
you.
got
And then she
Jason
puts on a pair
Schwartzman.
of reading glasses too.
Jason
So.
Schwartzman as Batman.
No.
God, yeah.
No. Don't do that to
Flash?
me.
Wouldn't that be
Absolutely
Flash?
not. Don't fucking do that to me.
Ed Norton as Superman.
Oh wow.
Oh God.
Wow.
So he's the Flashpoint version.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No. So did anyone besides me watch the whole Snyder cut?
No, not yet. I'll get there.
I will be probably
Yeah,
getting,
Madman. I kind of figured.
Yeah, I'll probably be obtaining HBO Max tomorrow for some reason. I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
Look.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say.
Tell me.
Is it a great film? No. No. All right. I am not a fan of that film's a lot of the film's character designs. Like I wasn't a fan of the other version of Steppenwolf, but this one literally looks like, you know, uncircumcised foreskin shoved into a box of razor blades.
Don't hold back.
Right? That's what that is. I'm like, oh, we're just walking
Let
around
it all out.
giant circumcision walking around beating up everybody. I'm like, okay, I understand why you're angry. But definitely it is a more fleshed out film. I
hope so.
Yes.
I fucking hope so.
Yes, with that many razor blades in 4 fucking hours. But it tells a better story, right?
It does.
It tells a better story overall, right? I did I think it was great? No. Do I think this is the version we should have gotten in the first place and WB and everyone else would have been better off for it? Absolutely. Wasted a lot of fucking time and money over the past 5 years trying to get this thing pushed out, and I like it. It's better.
But this also, they gave him like almost $100 million to do it. This is not even the cut that was that he had ready to come out. This is a different hybrid because I mean, if we think about it, if you use your memory, you'll remember that. And I'm not saying you're not, but when they first saw the Snyder cut before Zack Snyder had to bow out, the word from the executives was that it was like 3.5 hours and unwatchable.
Well, I don't know.
The thing is here's the problem. You said the word executive.
Well, yeah.
You know, so I'm sorry. You know, most some of those people are not film people.
Well, and and there were a lot of bad decisions made by that. Like right now, they look like idiots, right? And I'm sure everyone that's been involved with that part of the decision making process for this film is no longer dealing with that at all. But the other part though is he lost his daughter in the middle of that. Like right? There's a lot
that changes you.
That hell yeah, it changes you, right? I'd like to even remotely think about me losing my daughter right now. Like I would be fucked up. So, you know, with that being said, you know, there were just some bad decisions made. This is a much better film. I did not like the Whedon version whatsoever. At all. Right now, I'm like, nope, fuck this film.
I remember one moment from the Whedon version that I doubt is in the Snyder cut. We'll see if when I eventually, but there was one moment that I liked.
What moment?
So I can't remember because the movie bounced right off my brain. Because there was
I get it.
But there was a scene in the final fight where Superman and Cyborg did something. I don't remember what. And they were both lying on their asses and they laughed.
Yes, that was like the one time in the Whedon cut that Superman felt like Superman.
And that I was like,
ain't no laughing in this film, JJ. Ain't no laughing.
And that was the best part of the film for me.
There's no joy here.
Wait, well, I will say this. I will say this though. Interestingly enough, even though that, which was the one authentic Superman moment for me in the Whedon cut, is not there, it felt more authentically Superman, and Henry Cavill felt like he got to play more of Superman than he did in the Whedon cut because it's less awkward and less weird.
Yes.
But yeah, and as to the idea that they made a terrible mistake, I don't know, because basically you got to put out one version of the film and sell all the DVDs and sell all the Blu-rays and sell all the rights to that version, and there were toys probably for that version. You have to sell all of that. Then you got to wait for all of that to go away. Then you put out another version of the film, and you're now
new toys
with new toys, with new DVDs, with new Blu-ray. And they're doing the gray version. Apparently, they're going to show it in black and white. Then they're going to do a theatrical release of it when all the cinemas reopen again. I honestly think they're basically printing money at this point. Now, they're not making as much money as they think they should because they're Warner Brothers and their expectations of their characters are way out of line. But I think honestly they're so pleased with their decision at this point.
Yeah, because they I know one company, Mezco, dropped a 3-pack where it's Flash, Cyborg, and Batman, and it is
Right, and-
like that thing. That thing is money, right?
So
If you
so
had
did
the
you-
originals from those previous, the Wonder Woman and the Aquaman, those things have skyrocketed overnight because of how well that's done. And now
So-
McFarlane's putting out a whole new set.
So is this another way of like pushing away from Whedon as well?
I think
Probably.
But it was started before. I mean, Whedon's had grumbles for a while now.
Right.
But well, I guess, and to some, I was about to say this was before the Charisma Harpenter cancellation, but this was after the Ray Fisher spoke up. So yeah, I don't know.
And by the way, the two people who I think came out the best of this version are Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller,
Well,
because their characterization is
yes.
so much more fleshed out. And I thought Ray Fisher was fan-fucking-tastic.
So here's what's crazy though. You know, Black Twitter is obviously way different than regular Twitter, right? And the first thing that came
Is that a band? I've never heard of them.
Exactly, Rob. There's a reason. No, but one of the things
can I
that
join
was,
it?
no.
That sounds fun. What's the URL to Black?
What? Right. You're not invited to the cookout.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Now,
White in America. You can't keep me out of anything.
I'm beginning to think there's a little black privilege going on here.
There is. There
We
is.
are being held captive by the one person.
Right. I am the gatekeeper for Black Twitter for you, and you're not allowed it.
Anyway, what,
But
He
I'll
only,
give-
he only
I'll
lets
bring
me
you
see
a take
glimpses
home.
of it every
Look,
once in a while, and it's amazing.
I'll bring you a take home, Blade. Now, but what the first thing everyone noticed on that side was all of the characters of color roles were either reduced or completely removed
Right.
from the Whedon version, right?
right.
Because in this one you have Ryan Choi, right? Who becomes the Atom.
Is it spoilers?
Right, but he's pretty well. He was in the first one, but it's like a blip, right?
Right.
In this one, he's prominently in the film. All of the stuff with Harry Lennox, prominently in the film.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's prominently in the film.
But,
Joe
so Widge, when this is over, remind me to send you Black Twitter's takedown for Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Yeah, I get the take-home plates from Damien on Black Twitter, and it's much appreciated.
But here's
On that note, I'm gonna go off.
Okay,
Just leave.
all right, Rox.
Bye.
Bye, Rob.
Be safe. Be safe.
But the one thing that doesn't matter who is directing this fucking film. The thing that has bothered me since I first saw the early images of any of these is the fucking art direction in general. But like, speaking of like Ezra Miller, when I first saw that Flash costume, it's so pointy. He's got to cut himself and bleed out at super speed.
Yes.
You know, and Cyborg, if you go up to him and if you're anywhere near him, you're going to be just bleeding.
Oh, they fought Steppenwolf the whole time. The dude's a walking Gillette razor blade factory. And it's like he should be in Massachusetts.
And Steppenwolf, you look at Steppenwolf and he's so fucking chromed out. And I just wonder if anyone who does metallic effects has ever seen what they did with Colossus in the Deadpool movies compared to how he looked in the X-Men movies. In the X-Men movies, he looked fake as shit. In the Deadpool movies, he looks like Colossus. He looks like he's, you know, for the most part, it's still CGI, you can tell, but it looks like he's more in the scenes.
Right.
Steppenwolf's shiny as hell, man. Don't let it, but scratch him a bit. Put fingerprints on his armor.
Look,
you know, I put together a
Okay.
TV stand yesterday that I had to put glass shelves in. Those glass shelves are grubby as hell because I had to touch them.
Look, Darkseid is walking around looking like a teenage boy who had a bully punch a hole in his chest. Right?
Also,
Like literally, I was like, I'm going to need a second film just so that they give me the explanation of why this dude comes along and is looking so scrawny and has a giant hole punched directly in his chest. I'm like, it's got to be hard for you to breathe.
yeah. He also is so, so I don't know. His eyes are so scruffy that you can't get a good look at him. Make him clear so you can see what he looks like. You know,
we saw it wasn't great.
I mean,
Like for real, he looked like he needed a few fucking sandwiches before he fought anybody.
But I mean, this
right?
is, let's
like if
know,
I'm walking up, I'm like, y'all can take this motherfucker. He's been smoking rocks.
But this is also Zack Snyder who put as the main villain in Batman versus Superman, a sort of like wet diarrhea turd that they call Doomsday.
Yeah.
Not gonna talk about that.
Because
not gonna talk.
They had to shove every single plot line. The problem with the DCEU is that they act like they're in a Netflix series and they only think they're going to get the one movie because they're going to get canceled. So they try to cram everything into one movie. That's their problem. That's why you canceled. Had Dark Knight, and then Dark Knight Rises Returns, and then you had Doomsday, and you have to introduce Wonder Woman, and you have to do all this shit, and you have to do it all in one movie.
Yep.
Again, they're going to get canceled.
Either way, it at least allowed Hot Toys and Sideshow Collectibles to re-release an all-new Batman Begins Batman and a Tumbler, like all over again, and it looks fantastic.
I'm not even a Batman fan, and that sounds awesome.
Oh, they showed pictures of it yesterday because they've opened a third store called Echo Base. So yeah, and I'm like, oh, by the way, we're going to celebrate this by poof, we're giving you another one, and I'm like, oh, I can afford this now.
I am definitely at the point now where I keep telling myself that I'm like, okay, I have enough toys, I'm done, and then they
lies.
Well, it's like I was talking to my buddy Jason yesterday. I was like, okay, well, I'm at least done for a little while, and then NECA comes out with that fucking
lies.
Oh, that NECA Goliath is so pretty.
Hit pre-order immediately.
I haven't yet. I'm still kind of convinced.
No, don't convince yourself of nothing. Just hit the pre-order link like everyone else.
Which
NECA?
Goliath? What?
So NECA has gotten the rights to Disney's Gargoyles, the precursor to Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, right.
And they are starting. They're starting out with their first figure, which is Goliath. It's got two separate face sculpts and giant movable wings, and the sculpt on it is absolutely fucking amazing.
It comes with a book and a jalapeno. I don't remember the series, and I don't remember why he comes with a jalapeno.
I don't either, but I'm going to rewatch the whole fucking thing because that was my precursor to Batman the Animated Series, right? When I was like going back through and I was like, why does all this feel familiar? I was like, Gargoyles. And then we got BTAS.
What you don't understand is when I was watching Gargoyles as a kid, I was a theater nerd. And so watching Gargoyles as a theater nerd kid, and you get Macduff and Macbeth and Oberon and Titania and Puck. Yeah, and that's the thing. I was talking when I was talking to my buddy Jason too. I was like, "Here's the thing: is I want that Goliath, but I don't want that Goliath to be so successful that they keep putting out figures because then
they're gonna. They already said they're doing it.
Because I can maybe hold off on getting the core of Gargoyles. Maybe I don't know. I might not. But if they give me a Xanatos, I'm buying a Xanatos. If they give me an Owen with a stone arm, I'm buying Owen with a stone arm. And again, the theater nerd in me. If they come out with Macduff and Macbeth, how am I not going to do that,
sir? Just do it. You want to.
Damn it.
Look, you're just going to have to put some of those legends back.
That's fine. And they
put the legends back.
I've got some in storage now. Like
There you go.
Captain Britain's not up there, and there's a couple others that aren't up. And my
Nice.
X-Men are all over there.
Brian wasn't doing much anyway.
Well, the Brian's just hoping that eventually they'll come out with a Megan and a real Rachel.
I wish.
Have
I
Excalibur.
wish.
So I can have an
All right,
Excalibur.
Widge. So here's what it looks like. I've sent you the link to it in the chat.
I see it. I'm clicking now. Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, it's
With a
very,
stone
very
variant
nice.
Eventually, they're going to come out with a stone variant eventually.
Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
care. This is a series I'm probably going to be, if as long as I can afford it, I'm probably going to be all in on.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I just
Gargoyles.
saw NECA's doing
American Werewolf in London?
Nope, they're doing John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes,
And I
they're
saw-
doing that.
Yeah, I saw
American
the
Werewolf.
sculpts for it. It looks
Yep.
fantastic.
They just dropped the werewolf soldiers from American Werewolf in London.
Nice.
So NECA has a really interesting license agreement with the properties that they have. Like a lot of it has to do with, horror, old movies, but also so they just dropped right before that. Their latest commercial release was Defenders of the Earth, and it was a Ming the Merciless,
Wow.
Phantom, and Flash Gordon. Now Mandrake, Lothar, and everyone else are coming right after that.
Huh.
Like, they're killing it with the properties that they have, right? They've made a killing off of Predator, Alien, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and all varieties of that. Just like those things, like print money. Like, once they go out on shelves, they are there for 2 seconds, and they're no longer there.
Well, that's the thing I appreciate about Mondo when they release something, is that bots steal them all before I can spend money.
Yep.
So I really appreciate that. And I honestly don't want them to change it, because I might actually spend a lot of money at Mondo. So
I just picked up 2 records from Mondo.
yeah, I can't. According to my rules, I can't get anything but the Romero Dead trilogy, of which I already have 2. I need their Day of the Dead when that becomes available, and again, certain things from the letterpress collection that we were talking about before. I would get that. I really want to get the wrapping paper, because that looks just ridiculously awesome.
Look, I'm pretty much
but yeah, I
convinced
can't-
everything Mondo does ends up being really, really good.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh, go ahead, JJ.
I was gonna say, and I totally understand your rules, Widge. I totally do. The thing is, in my case, what happened is, I had rules in place for that kind of stuff, and then I found myself employed with a job that makes decent money, and single, and no reason not to.
Well, no, you can always change the rules. You have to understand. It's like, for example, I know that I don't have really good control of myself at times. So if I'm not careful, I will collect vinyl, which is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because I would just buy ridiculous amounts of vinyl. Like, the one thing, like, I cannot buy another iPhone until the iPhone I'm currently holding in my hand right now, that you can't see me holding, until this dies and is completely dead. Wise, I will just buy each iPhone as it comes out, because I am a stupid tech nerd and can't help myself.
You know what though? That's the same rule I have for my phones as well, right? I don't always. I am not the early adopter. I am not the person that jumps with every right. And I'm like, I'm now at the almost end of life on this phone. It's like, fine.
Yep.
And I definitely have rules as to what I will allow myself to buy record wise. I'm not going to buy things that I own in other formats. I'm not going to buy things. My preference is to buy things that were before digital compression. Those kinds of things.
Right.
So I do have rules in place there. but as far as like toys, like since this podcast was opened, I opened my Ahsoka Tano that I got. So
Nice. Oh my God, the Bad Batch is coming.
yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
For as much as I hated the Clone Wars, I can't wait for Bad Batch, and I can't believe that.
I can't believe it got a show, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one thing I've allowed myself that I can certain movie posters in foreign languages I want. Like for example, and Rob knows this because he was trying to look for one for me. God bless him. But in Shaun of the Dead in Spain was called Zombies Party, not Zombie Party.
Zombies Party.
Zombies Party. Yes. So I got on eBay a poster of Shaun of the Dead that just says Zombies Party on it, and it's otherwise it's the normal Shaun of the Dead poster. But that is my thing. Like I have a Night of the Living Dead poster from Belgium, which has a very buxom woman on the cover with zombie arms coming in trying to rip at her clothes. That never appears in the movie at all. But just it's like what was it? La Noche de la Vinda Deda or something like that. It's got some crazy title, but just something about the insanity of foreign movie posters and titles appeals to me.
Right.
So I'm allowing myself that on a case by case basis.
Well, I've gotten better. I have definitely slowed down on the collection. I've sold a lot of things. Believe it or not, like I said, I actually have now seemingly come out ahead in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Where the cars are paid off and what have you. We've got a minute before the next big thing that we're ever going to have to pay for, and it's like,
Knock
okay,
on wood.
right. Well, I know what that wood is, right? And so like I bought,
hello.
I bought I bought this chair, but at the same time, I'm like, every day I'm like, I'm not buying that. I don't have to buy that today.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that, right? And I'm not, right? There are things I'm going, And as I've slowed down, like I said, there are things that I've sold a bunch of stuff and will be selling even more stuff. Just not completely out of necessity, but it's like I don't need 8 Captain Americas that are all from the movie runs.
Right.
I just don't, because every time they come out with a new one, there's a new one that's like, I don't need all those. I don't need 8 million Iron Men that I have from all of the movie ones. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm getting rid of. And at the same time, though, it's like, okay, but I have, 10 Hydra soldiers or 15 Hydra soldiers actually. Because
Yeah.
I want an army built and play with stuff.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, I have one representation of a character, and if I get something new, I swap it out. Now there are a couple of characters that are like really close to my heart that are I don't necessarily weed out. Colossus toys I don't weed out. Chewbacca toys I don't weed out, and Captain America toys, I don't weed
Batman
out.
stuff, right? That's me with Batman. Like the only thing I'm really super completionist on is like the Batman the Animated Series stuff, right? That has come out and they finally stopped producing, right? I'm going back through and collecting all of that. Now, as my wife says, you need to get this giant box out of the living room now that the house is painted.
Oh, does this happen to other people?
Huh?
That happens to other people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you would get your records out of the living room, Rob.
They're gone, all of them.
Good job.
Now it's just everything else. Yeah.
Thank you, Janet. Good job.
No, it literally was just, there is no room. They're clunky, they're cumbersome. I bought these damn things once. I'm not buying them again on 40 grain vinyl with green wingtips. It's like, no, enough.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to do a digital show radio because you don't have to carry anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to put a 3-foot fucking Sentinel, because I did pay for that thing at the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm pretty sure they're supposed to drop toward end of summer.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the
Like-
two things that I have picked up that I'm not going to say I have regrets. I don't have regrets, but the two things that I picked up that I'm like, okay, by the time they ship, I have to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with them is that aforementioned Captain America that I mentioned that is, it's a 12-inch Hot Toys. So I got to figure out something for that.
Sir, you just put him right in the bed next to you.
Yeah.
It's fine, right? You take that. Look, you take that motherfucker everywhere. Put him in the seat with the HOV lane in the car seat. Like,
You start playing the old My Buddy ads for the
right.
my buddy,
Wherever he goes, we
go.
go.
Fuck yeah, America.
But I also succumbed to coolness factor, and I picked up the it's coming out, I think it's getting released in about 6 weeks, but that Faulty Towers vinyl set.
Nice.
Faulty Towers
Yeah.
on vinyl? What is this?
Yeah.
Okay. So back in the day they released say so that's 2 episodes, so there's 6, there's 2, so the 2 are, so there's, okay, so there were 8 episodes that got released on vinyl by BBC back in the day.
Just audio,
and they have a monologue
okay.
from Manuel that sort of connects them as like it's an audio version of the script. I kind of think of it as like having the old Monty Python records that that my buddies had when I was a kid.
Right.
And so they're now putting out all 12 episodes, and they're putting it so then they've come out with like vintage covers for the last 2 that never had it.
Yeah.
And it's coming out on it's like 180 gram white vinyl, so it's pretty cool.
140 gram white vinyl with an autographed picture of John Cleese, the import version.
That was the fun.
$100.
That was the nail in the coffin for me. Is I was like, how many times are we going to have the opportunity to pick up an autograph from from any Python, quite frankly. And this would be my second Python.
Which one?
To have an autograph.
Who is it?
Cleese.
Nice. Yeah, I need Chapman and Gilliam, but I'm never going to get Gilliam. So.
Right.
You had an opportunity.
I know, but someone scheduled panels the entire time, and then that's all right. I'll live.
I mean, that's how I got a Terry Jones.
Yeah.
Look, don't worry. He's disappointed the world since then.
I know. That's kind of how I feel. Although Cleese isn't exactly peachy either.
Oh no,
Exactly.
Cleese is not. But the thing is, his politics and humaning he might not be great at, but fucking as far as Faulty Towers goes, there's nothing wrong with Faulty Towers.
No,
yeah.
It's
Right.
Let's watch that again. It's beautiful.
Look, I put certain things in just like that in the Cosby realm, where when I look at and I go back and I watch the Cosby Show in a different world and the shit that came before it, right? There's an undeniable talent and impact that happened during that time. Just happened to be by a very, very shitty person.
He is one of the most revolutionary like storytelling comedians that has ever been out there. He sort of is the person that bridged the gap from the Henny Youngmans to now the more modern style of comedians. He did a lot, but he also was roofing women while he did it. So
right.
Yes.
And even beyond him, is there anybody who did not want like Felicia like to be their mom? Because she's like the ultimate TV mom ever.
Yeah, but then you're right, and that was the thing, right? Someone was saying this the other day, and I want to say it was Erica Alexander who played in the later episodes of the Cosby Show and went on to do Living Single, and she does comic books now and everything else. And it's like, look, that was America's fucking dad, not just the black community, like. Everybody wanted Cliff and Claire to be their parents at that time. It was unprecedented, right? To even cross that whole subsection where Thursday night, everyone's watching the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I
Felicia Rashad's still awesome.
I thought they were rotten to Theo.
I basically was like, yeah, And JJ, you would appreciate this being theater guy, but I finally, you do know that Felicia Rashad took over for Bernadette Peters in Into the Woods after she left, and Felicia Rashad was the witch on Broadway, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
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 Oh,
I finally found a radio show where she sang live a cappella part of Last Midnight. And I was just like, because it's one of those things where it's just like, why is there a bootleg somewhere of this shit?
That's like, I'd love to hear Robert Guillaume as Phantom.
Oh,
Oh yeah, those are streaming. There's if you go to if you go to Playbill, they have a listing of all the theater stuff that's streaming, because that Bernadette Peters Into the Woods is streaming. Sunday in the Park with George is streaming. There's all the Playbill stream has this whole list of all the theater that's streaming and where the services are.
Oh yeah, because Guillaume took over after Crawford.
And then
but
Guillaume
took
that.
over. And I've from what my late aunt saw it and said that he could outsing Crawford by a mile.
Well, and again, it's like when I saw Corey Glover from Living Color playing Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yep.
I keep tweeting to him. I said, dude, if you want to follow the Vereen theater list, you got to do Pippin next, man. You got to be the lead player. You can do it. Come on, man.
Kill to see him.
When I worked at the response. When I worked at the symphony here in the mid 90s, Robert Guillaume came and he was doing like a Pops concert, and we were in the box office, and we were working, and there's a knock on the door. We look up and it's Robert Guillaume, and he's like, "Hey, I know you guys are all working hard, so I brought up I made sure that when we ordered food for everybody at the party, that we ordered it for all the staff. So there's this room down here. It's got sandwiches and drinks and dessert for you guys because you've been working hard, and I just wanted to thank you."
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Don't you love it when there's somebody that you love and you hear something that makes you go, God damn it, I didn't know I could love you anymore, but now I love you more.
When I worked at the Geffen Playhouse, I was in the box office at the Geffen at this time. I worked my way through that theater for a while, but
nice.
But at this time, but I was in the box office for a show. This would have been 1999. It was a show called Dinner with Friends. It had just gotten optioned to be made into a film by Norman Jewison. And so that was kind of speaking of Jesus Christ Superstar. But also it starred Rita Wilson, Daniel Stern, Dana Delaney, and a Broadway actor by the name of Kevin Kilner. And for that moment in time, we were the show to see in LA. And so we were completely sold out. The people trying to exchange seats because they had season tickets, it was a big pain in the ass and everything. But in the middle of all that, one of the people who was one of the heads of the Geffen Playhouse, a little no-name by the name of Steven Spielberg, who had house seats, calls us up and he's like, "Hey guys, I need 8 seats for like Friday night." And we were like, "Okay, Mr. Spielberg." So, but we had the 8 seats because we had house seats. So we gave him the 8 seats, and he looked at it and he goes, "Oh, that's really great, but these are friends coming in from out of town. Can I get all 8 seats together? You put the aisle in the middle, and I'd really like to sit with my friends." So we had to call like really, really, really elitist, rich white people and go, "I'm sorry, Mr. Steven Spielberg would like your seats." And it was a Herculean task, but we got it done. And so Spielberg got his seats, got to sit with his friends, and the next day everyone in the box office had a bottle, well, everyone who was of age had a bottle of wine. We all had like gift certificates to restaurants. There was so much food and fresh fruit in the box office. I mean, there were roses. Cool. There were like a dozen roses for everyone who worked in the box office. It and a personalized note that said, that we really made his friend's trip to LA, and so he couldn't thank us enough, and it was really generous. And so, Spielberg is one of those guys that I will not hear a bad word about because he was so cool to us.
Yeah, I've heard he's really
that always makes me happy.
Yeah.
Well, we should
However,
probably lean towards recommendations because it is getting that time.
Yeah, and I've actually got to head out because I got somebody to pick up. And I have no recommendations.
Oh, okay.
Everything I've talked about on the podcast is shit I picked up. So, and I'm not reading or watching anything right now. So
he's busy salivating over his toys Captain America that he'll be sleeping with soon.
I'm just
That's why he keeps misting himself.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I've been watching the same shows everybody else has. The only thing I've watched Mighty Ducks, which we didn't talk about.
Yes, oh my God, I thought I was going to be by myself with that.
I've never seen it, so I'm going to make it a point.
Hold on, I loved that shit when I was younger. Right when I saw the commercial, I was like, "Ooh, ducks fly together."
Yeah, the first episode of that Mighty Ducks show is really good.
Okay.
It is really pretty good.
Look. By the time we get on this thing again, I'll have watched it.
Yeah. When I was having that panic attack that I was talking about earlier that I had on Sunday when I just absolutely couldn't get my shit together, I watched double feature of Mighty Ducks and D2. So,
hey man, always pick up the trash. Just pick up the trash.
And then yesterday, because I was having a freak out again, I ended up watching the Carl Urban Dread movie because I wanted to watch people die.
And very beautifully.
Yes,
die, in fact,
beautifully and in slow motion. So I mean, yeah, and that's
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to interject on the podcast that even though JJ is a white man in Portland, Oregon, he did not mean that literally that he wanted to watch people die. He meant on screen. We don't want it.
You are
just
right.
Want to do a trigger warning on
the
what
fucking
was just...
Proud Boys are big here, so you're not wrong. Thank you for covering my ass, my friend.
Yeah, but he won't put us on Black Twitter.
Exactly.
He won't even tell me the URL.
My feelings are hurt.
We just call it the Earl.
I'll have you know I saw Black Panther in the theater.
I would have saw it a third time.
But they wouldn't let me.
Hey man, I saw Car Wash. I saw Car Wash at the theater. That should count for something.
Holy shit, Rob. That counts
I was 7.
That counts for Social Security. Holy shit.
I will say I was I mean this is terrible now, but I'm saying this as humor, but it does sound like the exact shit we're parodying. But I will say I did go see I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Yes.
Theater, and I was me and my friend were the only white people in the entire theater until this one guy came in like halfway through the movie and then sat directly behind us, and we were like, I get it now. That's what it's like to be the only people in the theater, and you just automatically gravitate towards the people that kind of look like you.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yep.
Safety in numbers.
The lunchroom,
that was me
the bus.
as the only white guy in a cinema watching Eddie Murphy Raw. I
oh my God, yes.
It was the only white guy, and goddamn, that was funny.
Oh yeah.
Half Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Anyway, love you all.
Anyway,
Talk to you later.
Run away. Bye. See you, Jay.
See you, JJ.
Who wants to go first of our remaining 2 people since John is still in a coma?
Hey, my only other recommendation is this. I've got 2.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, we talked about my new chair at the beginning of the podcast. Holy shit, Dom pops up out of nowhere at the end.
I missed
Dom! Just in time for recommendations. Holy shit. He saw the Dom signal in the sky. I went on the roof and I turned on the Dom signal and he just suddenly appeared.
Yeah, well, it's 5 a.m., so why not?
Hey,
Exactly.
it's 5 a.m. somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you all?
We're
good. How you doing, man?
great.
Are you?
I should be in bed, otherwise I'm fine.
That's
Well,
all right.
We're all like that at this point.
Yeah, oh,
So-
I mean, definitely.
Yeah. So Dom, are you jabbed at all yet? What is happening in Germany on the vaccination front?
Well, do you remember when I was apologizing last year when we were doing so well?
Yeah.
Pretty much the opposite right now.
Oh God.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
Florida.
No, actually, I think we're okay, but we could be a lot better.
But you're not. Where are you doing? Where are you on the Italy scale?
Oh, Dom.
Italy, but the Brazil scale.
Dom, whenever they say
I know,
we're
I know, I
okay,
know.
but it could be better, that's right before they break up.
Nice one. The other thing is, everybody I know is extremely negative. I'm looking at it. Okay, there are a lot more after us. We're just US, UK. They're doing really fine when it comes to vaccinations right now. And compared with those, we're not looking that good. But everybody else is a lot worse off. Aside from Israel or something, countries you cannot compare, or countries like New Zealand and Australia, where they just thought, no, just leave those people who have that out of the country.
Right.
Those people who were
Thailand's
smart
the
enough
same
to do
way.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, thoughts and prayers,
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
Damn, that is the most American response.
That, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, I know.
is known as comic delivery.
Yeah, who says the Germans weren't funny?
Oh, God.
Well, the expectations are low, so I always deliver.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
And also, you probably all are very tired by now. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
no.
Yeah. I haven't had any whiskey at all. None.
Me neither.
I've had Benadryl.
Oh, well, there you go. So we're all on something. We're all on something.
Yeah, I had peanuts, but I don't think it counts.
I had what did
High
I
on
have?
protein.
Hold on, what did I have? I had on the go trail mix.
And you've gone nowhere. That's the fun part of it.
Well,
Oh, there he is.
He went to his office.
No,
no, I was just
I
working
see.
on stuff before. So.
gotcha.
Amy,
right,
I missed the whole chair. Hold on, I missed the whole chair thing.
All right. So, yeah.
Is this
this
the
week's,
Batman chair you were talking about?
yes. So, this week's recommendation is actually Secret Lab. They make fairly nice high-end gaming chairs. And I needed, because I'm working from home most of the time now, I was time to replace the office chair. And so I went for the upgrade, which is, you can't see, but you will shortly. Ta-da! So there you go. I went with the Titan because for folks playing at home, I'm 6'4", and I weigh about 235 right now. But yeah,
and it's got that Batman logo on it, which is pretty sweet.
Yep, and full adjustable lumbar support, height support, full recline. I can.
It's off the
back. It's fantastic.
Deck of a starship. What it looks like. It's
It's
like
actually
from the set
really
of
comfortable.
Star Trek. Good.
Well, and so I, our other Need Coffee friends, Joseph Ravenson and Doc. Actually, they had the chairs. They each had this version of the chair before me, and they've had them for a while. So I finally was able to kind of pull the trigger because they're not cheap by any means. So, and I was like, hey guys, we're all around the same size and height and what have you. You've had, you guys had the chairs. How do these, work for you? And they're like, nope, still love it. Still, it's got a nice firm seat, which I like. Not hard, but definitely firm. And hasn't given me any problems sitting all day, except for when I just choose to stand, which I may be ordering a standing desk. Haven't decided on that yet, but that's probably the next step in this room.
Yeah, one of those would be nice.
But yes, Secret Lab definitely makes some very, very nice gaming chairs. And for a person that works at home and has to be in a chair all day, this has been really, really comfortable.
See, I'm
and I really like
adjusting
it.
to that, and I need to get a new chair. So you have just solved a problem for me.
Well, if you like it, some people don't like the firmness of the seat.
I like
And,
that.
all right, and I went with the leather version versus the cloth. So
Yeah. In a real world, I'd say, hey, I'm just gonna come over and try out your chair, but sorry, man.
well, hey, you've been vaccinated. You've been vaccinated.
But I still wouldn't risk other people. So
well, look, now that we've established that I go get my first dose in the morning after months of grumbling and yelling at everyone else on the podcast early on, give it a month, you can come over.
now, is your wife getting it too?
No, not yet.
Okay.
She's got some health things she's taking care of first before that takes place. So,
Well, Rob, you could always come over and essentially be cosplaying a government agent coming to take ET away from Elliot, and then you'd probably be fine.
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't want to be a government. I don't want to be a government agent in Georgia right now. That's kind of like not a. One side will berate me and call me horrible names. The other side will try to lynch me. That's not really my thing. So.
Yeah, I understand. Oh God! All right, Rob, what have you got?
So I can't beat the chair, man. That's a fucking impressive chair. First, I'm going to recommend a book, which I know is crazy, called 1984: British Pop's Dividing Year.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Me neither. I was like,
No.
really?
No.
We're there.
It is connected.
We're there.
It is connected. It does talk about the year 1984 in British pop music and sort of all the records that came out because they were all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. But it also, one of the things it does talk about outside of, the overwhelming sense of Thatcherism that was bleeding into every aspect of pop music over there. But, everyone in 1984, kids ask your parents, we actually really thought we were going to get nuked, right?
Yep.
So, there's that, but there is also the specter of like that novel and how it was really all over pop culture. Like they do talk about the Eurythmics soundtrack that they did for the movie and things like that. So it's actually much cooler than I thought. So I do want to recommend that. And then I wish Tuffley was here for this, but that's okay. I got a book. Somebody sent it to me and they wanted me to interview the authors, so I did. But it's called Nothing But a Good Time. Is a history of 80s hair metal, right?
Oh my.
I know nothing about, right? But the guy literally got a hold of like everybody from like Kicks to Motley Crue to and it just sort of talks about like the Sunset Strip and Guns N' Roses and why people are so divided, why Guns N' Roses are so divisive. And there's a lot of just like, it's kind of cool to read it and not be an involved party in it because I have no idea who any of these people are as general people. But it also is really interesting to explore as a cultural phenomenon because I just remember it just exploded on MTV. And it just sort of talked about how like MTV just sort of like gave all these people careers and then MTV went away and they all went away, right? And then there's a couple interesting passages where they interview White Lion and they kind of set their version of different things that have been said about them over the years and stuff, and it's much more compelling and interesting than I thought. And it's if you write about music, you're supposed to know about other styles of music, and I'm like, well, I know more about like Nigerian funk than I do 80s hair metal, so that's I probably should get educated. So yeah, there's that. And then there's another book called Burning Down the House, HAUS, which is a history of German punk music. It's really great.
Nice.
And it talks about like German punk and post-punk in Berlin in the mid to late 80s and how it sort of contributed to the fall of the wall and such things. You may not know this, Dom, but the Berlin Wall was once in Berlin. I don't think you were born yet.
I look a lot younger than I am, but okay.
I know, I'm kidding. Yeah. I'm sorry. And then, and then also there is finally, I've been waiting for the album of the quarantine to come and it has come. It is, of course it's Nick Cave. so Nick Cave and Warren Ellis, not that Warren Ellis, the other one, have made an album called Carnage, made entirely in lockdown.
Oh.
And
Oh.
it is, I loved his Alexandra Palace concert that he did because it was him and a piano, and it's just, steeped in like gut-wrenching sorrow, right? Because, his son died, and you could tell that this is his outlet for him, right? This affects you in a pandemic the same. Like, I probably wouldn't, I did a really dumb thing in March, and that was, I'm not sure if I told Widge this, but whenever I tell Widge something, he's never surprised. I actually made it a point in March to revisit Diamanda Gallus's Plague Mass.
That's right. Yes, I remember.
And this is the closest thing to that kind of experience. Just because the songs are they're not necessarily about the pandemic. They're not about the pandemic, and they're not specifically sad, but you can just feel that there's this constraint, and they're working under this sort of duress, right? So I do want to recommend both of those. And then lastly, the thing that Widge inadvertently got me hooked on, which went by the wayside of my day working at home today, is the Angela Moore dub Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
That's a segue into you, Widge.
Yeah. So I have a notice that I'll say this, and we'll jump over to Dom, but I have a notice for when Fishbone goes live on Instagram or Facebook, and Angelo Moore, who is the frontman for Fishbone, when he goes live, it's always entertaining. My favorite was when he was with two young Japanese girls, and they were in like Osaka, and they were going to go thrift store shopping. And I was like, no, you need to film a pilot for that, because I would watch Angelo Moore from Fishbone going thrift store shopping all over the world when he tours, because I'm sure it is insane. So basically, anytime he shows up and it's live, he's usually driving, and it's usually insane. But he announced that he had released 2 albums, 70 tracks worth of instrumental work that he had done, which, like Rob said, is his in-dub tracks, which you can find if you just look on Angelo Moore on Spotify. They're also available on Amazon. But the bits of it I have listened to are really good. And of course, he's the front man for Fishbone, which for me is like a religious experience. So I highly recommend that.
It is. It's interesting.
Shared recommendation between me and Rob.
I'm hit and miss with a lot of dub stuff. Like I some of it I love it. Like I love the Scientists and stuff, but it's like he calls it dub, but it's not really dub. It's a lot of different stuff.
It's not.
It's just really interesting. And it made me want to go back and play Fishbone, and then listening to Fishbone after that, you almost hear them in a completely different light, which is cool.
Yep. I recommend everyone go back and listen to Fishbone regularly because it's good for the soul. So Dom, let's jump over to you. I know you just came in on recommendation. Do you have anything to recommend other than Insomnia?
I'm not sure I'm recommending that, but since I have missed, I don't know how long have you been on right now?
10 hours.
We've been almost 3 hours. We're almost at the end. So
okay. Have any of you recommended or talked about Invincible on Amazon Prime?
I have
not yet.
and I watched the first 3 episodes, and they were fantastic. And if you get a chance, look at the entire cast list. The entire cast list is bananas.
But also because I haven't read the comic, but I remember seeing the artwork, because that's pretty close to the comic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Very close.
And I've seen Kirkman talk about the series, and he said it's very brutal, it's very gory, and then you watch just the first episode and you think, wow, I can watch this with my 12-year-old son or whatever.
No, you can't.
You can only watch the first episode, and then you need to say, okay, 5 years. In 5 years we can do this. Because the next episode is just gore all over the place, and it's
there's gore, sex.
Yeah, a lot of.
Yeah, it reminds me of when I have not watched Invincible yet, but Mad and he invited me to go see the first episode of The Boys on the big screen in the cinema.
Yeah.
And I was like, how close to the comic are they going to be? And then there was, and if you've
A-Train.
read the comic, yeah, if you've read the comic, you know what I'm talking about when there's that initial, holy shit. And I just went, oh yeah, they're going for it.
That was my experience with the first episode of which I think today has been canceled. American Gods. The first season.
It did get
Really?
canceled today. Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Mhm.
The first season of American Gods, I thought there's one scene in the book that they will never, ever, ever adapt. First episode, they do it. First episode, a woman sucks through her vagina, a complete human being. I'm like, okay,
Yep.
wow. First episode.
Shout out to Bill.
I'm on board.
Thank
I'm on
you.
board. I will watch this. And I'm mentioning this, of course, because it has been canceled, and now they're talking about maybe finishing it up with I think a TV movie or something. But also,
American Gods?
yeah. Also,
Okay.
I've been catching up on the third season, I think it is, and they used a Leonard Cohen song that I really like. So I looked at the album, and it's the same title. You Want It Darker is what they used.
Oh, okay.
That
Right.
album is from 2016, and I love Leonard Cohen, but that's the only album where I really have added all songs completely, each and every bit to my playlist, to all
Yeah.
of them.
One of the
Because
three
that is so
three best concerts I've ever seen.
Of course. I mean, I come on here and talk about Leonard Cohen all the time, although I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just know.
Oh, no,
I
no,
love
no. That's
music. And
Yeah, I
to
just-
me, he's perfect.
The only thing about Leonard Cohen is I think we need to, especially after the Snyder cut, we really need like a 20-year moratorium on uses of the song Hallelujah in anything. I really think
Yes.
that needs to be passed by a council at The Hague.
By
and we
every-
just need to,
by anyone.
anyone, for any reason.
I
It can't be
thought
used.
I thought it died with Shrek, to be honest. But
No,
Zack
No.
Snyder
no,
kept on
it's,
trucking.
oh my God, it shows up every other week. I swear to God.
Yeah, people getting married to it.
So,
Mm.
oh no, you can't. No, as part of the moratorium, no. Sorry, you can't do it.
No more weddings.
Can I get married to
And
her? No, you
the
can't.
fact that last record that he made came out as well as it did, considering it was unfinished, is pretty astounding.
Yeah.
I may have one final recommendation, and that would be
Go for it.
I'm curious to hear if you know this book, which or if you know the person, because I don't know
Yeah.
anything about him, but I know that he wrote this book. It's called "Do the Work" by Stephen Pressfield.
No, no,
Okay.
I don't know it.
I'm
Talk to me, what is
recommending
it?
it, although I haven't finished it because it is brutal. It's a book on how to get your work done if you are in some fashion an artist, if you're a writer specifically. And it's
Oh,
really-
yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah.
It's
Huh.
really brutal. It's completely honest, very very short, and it's like one page, one sentence, and it's so honest that you're hurt by it. Like, do the work, it's just what you need to do. Something like
Right.
that all the time. It's like a therapist talking to you straightforward. You know how this is going to be. You're just you're looking for excuses. Do the fucking work. That's the whole book, and every page hurts like hell. But in a good way, in a really good way. And it's sometimes it's just what you need.
Good pain. Good pain.
Yeah, good pain.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Dom. I think John is still in a coma, so I will go ahead and say that what John was going to say is correct, that if you do go to needcoffee.com/Amazon for any of these fine things that we've told you about that you might want to check out, if you snag them through that, it doesn't matter if they're expensive flat screen television or a 99-cent MP3, it all counts, it all adds up, and it all helps for the server, which is a lovely thing to pay for. My one recommendation that I'm going to make is I saw that in a week, April 6th, due to come out from the archive collection of Warner Brothers, is the complete series of Thundar the Barbarian on Blu-ray.
Yes.
And I don't know if you remember Thundar the Barbarian.
I do. Yes.
But it's-
absolutely.
But all I have to say is every time I think of Thundar the Barbarian, all I can think of is him exclaiming demon dogs every time that something bad is happening, or he just feels like it's his version of Great Scott.
Yeah.
And it only lasted 2 seasons, which I was amazed of. And I was reading online on Wikipedia, which of course is always right, is that apparently there was going to be a Sunday comic strip drawn by Jack Kirby at some point, but that got canceled. So,
that would have been nuts.
so yeah, if you like post-apocalyptic guys with laser swords, a sorceress, and a a knockoff Wookiee, if that sounds like awesome to you, which it is, then you should definitely go and check that out. I'm sure if you want to sample it, there's probably bits on YouTube somewhere. But
looks like they're doing Josie the Pussycats and the Pussycats as well. They're probably going to end up dropping that whole Hanna-Barbera era.
Yeah, I was
they're making a movie.
Totally fine with that.
They're redoing both of those as movies, so that makes sense.
Well, I mean, the law of relative development says that they're going to. So,
well, I will tell you the honestly the best version again was, I want to say it's I can't remember who did it, but when they redid Future Quest and they added all of those guys in, that for me definitely was one of the best modern takes on all of those superheroes. They had the series Future Quest where they took Johnny Quest, Thundar the Barbarian, the Impossibles, Space Ghosts, the Herculoids, and Mytor, and they shoved them all in the same book. And they gave them a very plausible reason for getting them together. Frankenstein Jr.
Okay.
But it's a good, fun, adventure-filled book, right? They allowed some of the characters to become updated for modern times, but they gave a legit, plausible reason for that happening. Who else was there? Oh, Birdman was in it. Yeah, they pulled out all the stops with those old cartoons.
Jabberjaw, was Jabberjaw in it?
Not in this one. There was what was the Hanna-Barbera Wacky Race? They did that as a comic.
They need to do the Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, and it was dark.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was dark.
Let's check that out.
Oh yeah, just that Future Quest. That's what you want to pull up.
Is there the Snaggletooth stuff coming out? I want to see all that shit.
Yeah. Yep. Snaggletooth got. I believe. No, wait. Is it Snaggletooth the lion that wore the bow tie and everything?
Yeah. It's exit.
Okay.
Stage left. Even.
Yes. So I believe in this one they gave him a Future Quest book on his own, as well as the Flintstones and a couple of others. I think his was a modern take on politics.
Oh wait, it's hang on. Let's see. Snagglepuss.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you have it. Well, I gotta look for that stuff. Well, I think we've hit the borders. We can see the wasteland outside the realm of Weekend Jokes, remarkably like the inside of the realm of Weekend Justice, and that we've left in our wake after 3 hours of I have no idea what the hell. I just remember Dom the last time held up a sign that says, "Didn't this podcast used to be about pop culture?" And I was like, well, "This is what pop culture looks like now," and it's so true. But I think as we look back at the pocked and cratered ruin that was pop culture in the past 3 hours, we should simply say, mostly to bewilder Dom, we should.
I still have it.
Wait, keep holding that up for a second. Hold that up. Keep holding it up. Keep it. Oh shit! Hang on.
You want me to take a picture of it? Okay.
Okay, I got it. No, I got it. I think to make Dom wonder what the hell we've been talking about, I think it's only fitting that we all stare at each other in mild amazement and say, "Giant circumcision."
Giant circumcision shoved inside a box of razor blades.
Easy to be smarter. I just wanted to say it in German because why not?
Wait, say it again.
Riesige Beschneidung.
That sounds even more
Gesundheit.
It
sinister.
sounded like Zack Schneider. But that's
Oh,
okay.
John is alive.
I've said the
Somebody
magic
has to stop
word.
the podcast.
Butel, The Conjuring.
Someone has to stop it. For God's sake, stop it. Make it stop.
Tonight's
Which will
podcast-
end first, the pandemic or the podcast?
Tonight's podcast was brought to you by Moms Demand Action.
Mom's
What
Demand
kind of action?
sounds either like a porn or the opposite. I'm not sure.
Exactly. Yeah, it could go either way. I
Yeah.
think the porn version is called MILF's Demand Action.
Oh, well, there you go.
I wouldn't know. I just heard.
Very quick researcher, that one.
Yeah, but I can Google the fuck out of stuff at light speed, buddy.
Mhm. Dom, what is the action figure with the yellow bag over its head?
That's Vision.
Okay.
He doesn't have a bag over his head. It's his cape.
I just didn't know if this was some. Okay, I didn't see the Vision head. I just thought you had like a Stasi
Okay.
action figure or something.
Because
Wow.
Of course.
Wow.
Stasi didn't have a uniform as far as I know. So
Well, it's just it just looked like. Why is this thing got a
because
yellow?
look at this.
Okay,
You know,
now
that's
it's
why
very
you put
cool.
The cape
It's-
over
it's
here,
this.
so it looks a bit better. It's the cheapest one you could
I just didn't see the. I didn't see the head. I just saw the yellow thing
Yeah,
over the other yellow thing.
That's the Cool Toys version.
So that's what organizing all your shit looks like. Okay.
Hey, look.
Really.
You wait
know,
until
I zoom
wait.
into this so that around this frame, chaos. Honestly, everything I see, chaos.
Dom, around this country here, you see chaos.
chaos.
I've been there. I know.
Dom knows. He was here firsthand. He witnessed it
4 times actually.
and escaped to tell the tale.
And I'm not sure if you were better off when I left. You know.
So it's your fault.
Might be. I don't know.
I just, I just find it better at times like these to blend the French.
This is what you.
I grew up 15 minutes from the French border. I don't blame the French for anything.
Okay. But the wine was good.
And the bread. Really good bread. And cheese. And eclairs. Have you ever had a real French eclair?
Yes, I
Actually-
have.
I have.
You could. It sounds like you could blame the French for weight gain because that would be happening to me if I had all that available
Yeah.
to me.
Absolutely. That's why
Yeah.
I all smoke. When you
We
look at
can't
the
blame
stuff.
them
Like,
for that either. We live in America.
I know
Oh
somebody.
no! But
yeah.
if we lived there, yeah.
I know somebody that
live there.
lives. I know somebody in France who lives in a medieval town near the German border and says that one of his favorite things is just going back and forth and doing the food between the two.
yeah.
Probably not now, but yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
tell him I said hi and that I'm not the guy he keeps thinking I am.
Okay.
It's okay, Dom. I feel closer to you now. We have little grocery stores popping up everywhere.
It's,
I really didn't catch that one. So
It's
Okay.
little-
Well, we have Aldi's.
little German.
Yeah, Aldi's is
yeah.
everywhere.
Little
Aldi's.
is German.
So is
Oh,
Aldi's.
You mean, sorry, that's the thing because the name sounds like little,
Yes.
you
Uh-huh.
know,
Oh,
And we
okay.
say
I was just
Lidl.
like, what?
that's
Yes.
why.
It's a little grocery store.
Yeah, our prices are little. Yeah, of course.
Yes. but they have started putting them everywhere here. I've got 3 of them in fairly close proximity.
I've never been to one, so if I ever get to leave and come anywhere else, I'll come and
Yeah.
go.
So so the cool thing, Rob, is they have a fresh bakery in all of them.
Oh,
So you can go in like at any given point in time of the day and buy like a fresh loaf of bread or fresh donuts, pastries, what have you. Things I'm
Yeah.
trying to
They just-
abstain from.
yeah, me too. But they just put a new donut place by us. That's
Yeah, I remember when I went to go visit Rob, I hit 2 donut places on the way out of town.
oh, you go to Strange. You went to Strange Donuts.
I went to Strange Donuts and I forget Da Vinci Donuts, I think.
Oh, we
yeah.
have Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
No,
Da
that
Vinci.
says
We've had it.
I don't think it's Da Vinci then. It was something else.
I know the one
But-
you said. I know.
Yeah,
which one.
I hit
Van
two on the
Gogh,
way out of
Van
town.
Gogh nuts, or yeah,
That's
yeah.
That's it.
Are you running out of names for donut shops?
No.
Obviously.
No.
There's a secret cabal. They are all very much the same. They just put different names on them all.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is not true. As a donut connoisseur and professional, I can.
Oh,
You'll have to
that's
come and get
true.
the. You'll have to come and
There's
get the double eclair. Then.
Yeah, there's a difference. All right,
That's
in
true.
various donut shops.
If there's
I've
anyone,
done the research.
This
if
place has
anyone
a
who
double
has a
eclair.
palate, if anyone has a palate to appreciate the subtle differences between
Yeah.
donuts, it is Madman. I can
Yeah.
attest
Yeah, my
to
friend.
that fact. He is a
friend-
professional donutier.
My friend George keeps raving about the new Cuban bakery that's in Decatur that he goes to, and the donuts
Really?
from there, and the
Send-
donuts
send
from
me-
there.
Send me the list. I mean,
Yeah, I
send me the
will.
link to it.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Oh, so you like sweets then, don't you?
I like food.
Oh, I'm gonna send. Oh,
I like.
I'm gonna send you. Which I
Look,
think you know what's
sir,
coming.
I like. I
Oh,
like.
Oh, I'm
Sir,
sending
I
you
like-
something.
I like food. Okay.
So are you a blueberry guy? Are you a strawberry guy? You like?
I'm a food guy.
He's telling the truth. He is totally telling the truth.
I'm a food guy. All right. Now, like,
Yeah,
what's your
if it's
favorite
food,
food?
he likes it.
Like meats, vegetables, starches.
There is terrible food out there.
Edible kind.
Are you one of the
quality
people that
and
does?
variety.
Are you doing the Dragon Con cook around thing every year?
What? There's a cook around?
Oh, okay. I'll send you something else. then.
All right, because
Yeah, there's a
you-
bunch of people that do panels and things, and every night of Dragon Con, you go to a different person's house for a homemade meal.
No, but we are having the black.
Not right now, though.
We're
Obviously,
having the Black People Cosplay Cookout that you don't know about.
there's a really great soul food place here that if you ever come, that's amazing.
I gotta
No,
I gotta-
like you got to understand that like there is literally a list of black cosplayers, right? That all like half of them are professional cooks, and I know 2 that are professional bakers.
Yeah. I mean, that's the tricky thing is, now when I come for Dragon Con, I have to juggle the Decatur Book Festival and Dragon Con and then all the fucking food places now. It's like next time I'm just going to come in a week early. I have my list every year of restaurants and I knock a couple off.
There you
And
go.
then people have this like cook around thing and it's like, it's just insane.
Yeah, apparently one of them is making Uncle Nearest brownies right now
Like-
because of his insomnia.
Oh,
His kicked in.
that's what
I had never had
Madman, that's what I've been drinking tonight. That is what I have been drinking. Are you kidding me?
Man, Randy makes Uncle Nearest brownies all the time.
what?
It's a
shit.
whiskey.
Shit,
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
I know
he
it's a
doesn't play
whiskey. I
around.
just don't know about. Oh.
Bro.
I need a
Look,
recipe for the fucking
me-
brownie.
Look, let me tell you something. So if you ever, there's a guy that you would typically see at Dragon Con and passing all the time that always comes as Ice Cube with the jerry curl and everything.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Randy. Randy is actually a professional baker, right? And so that like
Okay.
Randy is the one who keeps me on my toes going, well, why aren't you practicing? Why the fuck did you decorate the cake like that? I'm like, Randy, I'm not trying to be. He was like, man, I'm holding you up to some better standards. Fuck this. Right?
Like this ain't nailed it, Madman. What the fuck?
Right. That's it. Randy was like, hell no. It's not happening.
I'm still curious about these brownies.
Yeah. Well,
This is going to be in my fucking head. See, which gets it?
Hold
When
on.
something gets
So-
in my head,
so
it's in
here's-
my head till it's not gone anymore. And then
here's
so
the
thank you.
deal. On a random chance that we all see each other in September, right? Because it looks like they're trying to make that thing happen, right? With people being vaccinated and whatnot. On the random chance that that happens, and when we all show up, right? I will take the week before and I will let him know, hey, I need you to make me a pan of Uncle Nearest brownies, and I will just bring them to you guys. I'll just get it done.
All I can say is just we need to
I mean, Widge, you could get them at any point because I could just,
Dude.
hey, Randy, make a thing of Uncle Nearest brownies and I'll just drop them off at your house.
Dude, I would not say no to that. Like, in fact, I think I'm saying yes to that because that
Okay.
sounds amazing.
Sounds good.
And I love
How-
Uncle Nearest.
Oh, you guys are
Uncle
killing me.
Nearest is the
Oh, yeah.
shit. It's good
Well,
stuff.
here's the
Damn.
deal. His last name is Jameson, and he will make Jameson brownies.
It's kind of double Jameson at that
That's-
point.
Can he
Right.
Can he put a little picture of J. Jonah
Hold on.
Jameson on him so then they're Jameson?
Sir.
Jameson cube.
Don't. The only thing you need to ask is, will he? It's not a matter of can he.
I want
Shit,
brownies
oh
of
my God.
Spider-Man.
Right, mid with real spiders and men.
Oh my God.
Well,
All right.
now I'm going to obsess about that for ages now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's
You're
what you
welcome.
do.
You're
We're-
welcome. You're welcome.
Yep.
Just give us a couple of days heads up before you get in town. Well, I'll
You know,
commission some.
the thing is, too, about that thing is I don't think I'd actually come into town for the thing. I think I would come into town to just see people. I think that's kind of the way it's looking.
Well, if you come into town for if you won't come into town for the thing, you could at least come into town for the rest of the Fantastic Four. I mean,
Do we
Yeah.
have to pay DragonCon if we say the name or what's
No,
the-
I just, yeah.
look, I'm not trying to give anyone hope here. All right?
Okay.
I'm,
No,
yeah.
I've
wait,
never
wait, let me do my job.
I'm just
accused you of
gonna
that,
call it
man.
the
I've
thing.
never.
Let me do my job.
I've
here.
never-
There is no hope. There is no hope.
Oh, God.
As the Warthog stand-in, that is your job. Just to remind us that there's no hope.
As the German on the podcast.
Tonight on nihilism.
Oh God! All right. Well, I gotta.
There
duck
is
out
no tonight
because
on nihilism.
Is
There he is.
Never is.
Hi,
Yeah,
John.
I've got to go to bed so I can go get my
Yep.
shot in the morning.
go
Dude,
have a
dude.
nice shot.
Dude, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
The one
Thank
great
you.
thing about Dom, have you gotten shots yet?
I'm way too young and healthy. Sorry.
Okay, because I was
Okay,
just saying,
no need to brag, dude.
I was just gonna say the one nice thing about this week is that all the people I actually really care about are getting shots, and it's like great.
Yeah.
It's like
So-
a-
And it still holds true with Dom not getting a shot.
no,
Damn.
no. He said he's young and healthy, so
That is cold blooded.
no.
No, my parents are just having a birthday and they're turning 70, and they now qualify to get on the list. So there you
Get
go.
him on it.
70. Wow.
Get him on
Wow.
it.
Yours starts
Wow.
at 70?
Right now, yeah. Wow, the quiet.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, at least they care about their seniors
Dom-
here, and then they
Dom,
don't lock
keep-
them up and do nothing with them.
Keep in
Yeah,
mind
that's
that John. Keep in mind that John lives in Florida.
God's waiting. room.
Okay.
Well,
So
they open.
you are the youngest person around. I don't know.
Pretty much, besides
or
his
the
children.
whole state. I don't know.
On Monday, they're opening it up to 18 and over. So,
Wow.
The COVID or the vaccine?
yes.
John.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. It's
I
funny as
generally didn't
shit.
understand what he meant. I'm sorry.
It's horrible, but it's funny as shit as well.
it was his browser.
Florida's been holding back, the COVID for only the seniors and the
That's
middle
what you.
aged.
I
That's
would, I
what
would
you
not
We're
be
gonna allow the
surprised.
we're gonna allow the
That
teenagers
is
to go
what
next.
you think, buddy.
So on
That's
a-
what you think.
Not be
On a-
surprised.
On a completely different note, John, I know you had like stuff you're worried about when all this broke out. Is everybody cool?
Everybody's cool. I don't know if you missed it, but I got my shot today. That's actually why
Yay!
that's why I went and go. That's why I was went to go lay down because I'm just beat right now.
Oh, that's even better.
His immune system is busy cranking it out.
Good for you.
Oh yeah, then he definitely needs to go like that.
Yeah, there's
That
only
thing-
one other thing you could have
That
done.
thing was on its last legs to begin with.
Yeah. Did you get a second shot?
Not yet. Well,
No,
I mean,
you
I
have to
do.
get a second one.
I got
Okay.
I got Pfizer, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I didn't know how everyone. I know.
Okay,
Wait,
I get my second shot.
Dom's looking confused. Go.
No, I'm not confused. I just think there's only one vaccination that requires only one shot, and that it's Johnson & Johnson. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, that's the one.
That is
right.
correct.
Yeah, you're
But,
correct.
but don't worry, we're giving you guys AstraZeneca.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Um,
I will take whatever.
Yeah.
honestly.
I get my next shot on 420. So
AstraZeneca from the people that brought you Mengele.
yeah,
Oh,
celebrate
Jesus.
multiple ways.
Wow. Wow.
That was a long conversation at work with the other day with someone about it's perfectly safe to take the virus. It's not like that. That was a long conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, just bear in mind, if this is your first vaccine, even if it's 2 shots, there will be more. Just relax.
You better hope so.
Yeah, I don't want more boosters or anything. It's just like, just let this hold, and but
if it was up to Jenny McCarthy, none of us would be vaccinated.
Let's just hope that the mutation from India is not going to be as bad as they think.
No, what dude, what are you talking about?
There's a double mutation that they're looking at in India.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lovely.
And that might be resistant against some, if not all, vaccinations. Good times. I know, good times. There's no hope. Fuck. We'll see.
Wow. So you waited. You planned this. You waited. You sat like a leopard in the fucking Serengeti. I'm like, I'm going to wait till that fucker gets fully vaccinated and he's feeling good. And I'm going to come in 5 minutes before the podcast ends and I'm going to pounce like a lion on a wounded gazelle.
Did you not hear this man say there is no hope? Where were you confused about this?
I mean, I probably have it coming, but still, man.
Shit, that's funny.
That's all right. I love him anyway.
That's fucking fun. Oh, God. On that note, I'm going to run away so I can go pee.
Good night, all.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Rob, send me the
See you
food
guys.
list.
I will.
Good morning, Dom. Good
Stay
morning.
safe, everybody.
Good morning.
Go to
Take
bed.
care.
Good morning, Dom.
Bye. Bye.